Hello and welcome to Destiny Community Podcast, episode number 92, guys. Welcome. First off, Holtz is currently participating in a food eating contest for Taco Bell. He's
training for that.
That
seems kind of
unfair. They were inspired by his Dorito story, so much so that they thought they need to get him. Yeah, exactly. They need to get him in a contest.
Is he going to be the food tester for a new stuffed Dorito item at Taco Bell?
So this is what they're going to be
supposed to be under NDA. We can't redact it anymore. Oh my gosh!
This is breaking news. Patrick is actually designing a Taco Bell special taco in which the person in the back eats the taco.
Yes.
Then Mama birds it into another taco.
This is disgusting, by the way.
And then gives it out.
It's called the Mama Patty.
It's true.
Well,
and we're sorry, Patrick. We broke the story.
Yes.
Sorry.
So, how's it going, guys?
I mean, I was on board for the stuffed Dorito, but once you Mama Beared it, I'm out. Mama Birded it.
That's what it's stuffed.
That's pretty much the reaction. Yeah.
Yeah.
The stuffed Dorito sounds like a new type of Mexican ravioli.
Mm-hmm.
Basically.
So Nick's gonna have fun with this one. I just hit record.
Did you? Wow, nice, Bo. Profesh. So what's going on, guys? What's what?
A lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, right?
A lot of stuff.
Yeah,
we got some really cool guests on tonight that I'm really excited to introduce. We got Zachary Witten, who is the advisor for youth innovation at St. Jude Children's Hospital. Welcome, sir.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Research Hospital. There's so many things to remember.
There are like 5 words in that name. I know.
It's very hard. It's hard.
Every few years, we actually add another one. If you actually go back at the entrance point to the hospital, there's a statue of St. Jude that has all the founders' names at the base, and it says St. Jude Hospital. And then since then, when we were founded, that was 1962, we've added St. Jude Children's and then research to the hospital name since then. So yeah, our name keeps growing, and give us another 50 years, it'll be St. Jude Children's Research Hospital of Awesomeness Forever. Thank you for everyone's support.
I like where you're going with that.
Yeah, it would be a fitting name. It would be a fitting name. And our other guest is Omni Waffle.
Hello.
Omni Waffle is the man, the myth, the legend. The man behind the scenes who makes GuardianCon happen. Thank you very much for joining us.
No problem. Glad to be here.
So if you have any questions tonight, and we do, this is the man that is going to answer all of them for us. Actually, it's really exciting. I wanted to make sure I've seen how much crazy work. You are the guy behind the scenes that made GuardianCon happen. And I am really excited to talk to you. I saw how much you did last year, and I can only imagine what you're going through right now as we're leading up to GuardianCon, and how busy you are. So we really, truly appreciate you taking the time to jump on the podcast and help our audience understand what you guys are up to.
For sure. Not a problem.
Absolutely. All right. So my first question starts with Zachary.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about yourself.
Wow. So I have a thing for very well-crafted facial hair. I collect Dragon Ball figures with my wife. These are not the answers you want at all.
These are good.
These are good answers.
Liking it.
Yeah.
Six years ago, you had somebody say a beard is no substitute for a jawline, no matter how you trim it. And I, sir, think he is an idiot. Your facial hair is immaculate.
Did I say that?
No, you didn't say that. Some asshole in your YouTube video said that about your facial hair.
Oh, yeah.
Now you're reading other people's comments? What the fuck?
I had to.
Isn't one on the internet? Don't read the comments?
Yeah, I thought you cut this out.
It's one of the rules, but I can't help myself.
If you go back and look at a bunch of my other things that I've done, like for Twitch or other videos that have been posted, it's pretty much, if you take a shot every time someone asks if that's Seth Rogen, you will just die in the first 5 minutes.
Oh, I think I'm already dead.
Challenge accepted.
Looking at chat, it's happened twice already.
There's been a few, yeah. Been a few who've said that.
Yeah.
So, I I work at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, where I'm very lucky to run a program called St. Jude Play Live. It's a video game fundraising program that benefits the kids of St. Jude. So you sign up, you set a fundraising goal, and instead of putting your own donation button at the bottom of your Twitch dashboard, you put a button that points to a donation page for the kids of St. Jude. We do a bunch of activations every single year. We got a big activation in May. We work with the guys at GuardianCon. We have a creative activation that we do every holiday season. We're working on spinning up an activation for the traditional games folks, so role-playing games, card games, board games, stuff like that. Yeah, we've been doing this for 5 years now, and probably, if everything goes according to plan, by the time GuardianCon is done on July 14th and we all get to go home and take a nap, we'll have raised $10 million for the kids of St. Jude over the last 5 years,
Wow.
which is a pretty amazing achievement. And
Wow.
I say we because it's, tens of thousands of Twitch content creators, YouTube content creators, Mixer content creators, people on Facebook, all over the place coming together and using their voice to help spread the word about the mission of St. Jude and what we do here at the hospital. And explain a little bit more about that for those of you all that don't know. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're a nonprofit research hospital based in Memphis, Tennessee. We've been open for the last 56 years. We opened in 1962, so someone do the math from 1962 to now. And we take the hardest to cure cases of pediatric illness from all around the world. We've had patients from every 50 states, all 50 states, and from countries all over the world. We focus on the hardest to cure diseases. So predominantly that's focused on cancer right now, because pediatric cancer is the #1 killer by disease for kids under the age of 10. We focus on diseases that are genetic in nature and diseases that are communicable by blood. So things that, like the flu, we do a bunch of flu research, HIV/AIDS. Our first government grant back when we opened came for sickle cell research. We are one of the largest pediatric HIV/AIDS centers in North America. I don't know if I said that yet. We did the genetic work that sort of unlocked the marker for ALS. We do so much stuff at the hospital. It's actually hard to wrap it all up in a single nice, clean soundbite. But if there's one thing that I think is the most important about what we do is that when patients and families come to us, they never receive a bill for anything: treatment, travel, housing, food. We will board the family dog when they have to come and stay with us for their treatment. We make sure that they have a really nice place to stay. We give them Target gift cards so they can go and buy food and clothes. It's sort of their own stuff. We also provide them a meal card so they can eat in the cafeteria, and they have food brought to them at the housing facilities. Like, we take care of everything we can, because when families come to us, all they should care about is helping their kid to win their fight against whatever disease they're battling. They shouldn't have to worry about whether or not they can pay for it. And the thing that goes beyond that is, once we have a breakthrough, because we had patients and families that were brave enough to come to us and to enter our care, we freely share all that research that we get. So on average, we publish a research paper every 11 hours. Wow. GuardianCon, the charity stream is 10 days, Alex? What is it? No, 10 days? 9 days.
It's a week.
So 7 days.
7 days.
So 2 papers a day. So 14 to 16 papers by the time the charity marathon is done for GuardianCon. We will publish, that many peer-reviewed papers that are freely available on our website. We actually have people that we keep on staff. It's their job to go to pharmaceutical companies and to medical technology companies and take our research and use that research to produce the breakthroughs that we've discovered on scale. Because the sad thing is, there's really no money in pediatric cancer. It's such a horrible thing, but it's not invested like other cancers are. It's not a very profitable cancer. And so a lot of companies don't invest the time and the money to make the things that can actually help them. And so we basically say, we will do all of your research work for you if you will produce this drug that we need in order to cure this disease. We had a kid.
Why is that? Why is it not a profitable cancer?
So it's a order of magnitude question. So if it takes them, $4 billion to produce a viable mainstream cancer drug for an adult type of leukemia, where there are, I don't know, take a guess of making up numbers, 50 million cases in the developed world every single year. the same number of pediatric cases would be somewhere in the order of 50,000. So you're looking at the same amount of money to develop the cure, but 1/1000th the number of customers. And my math may be wrong at all. That's just me using an example. But it's really just the fact that there are not the number of patients, and the patients you have tend to be on their parents' insurance. So they're not the sort of thing that pharma companies can make a long-term profit off of. And so we have to do what we do in order to ensure that these kids get the proper treatment. We had a kid that actually had such a very specific type of leukemia that his treatment was $50,000 a dose.
Wow.
Oh my God.
So standard protocol for leukemia, you're looking at getting the drugs 3 or 4 times a week for 18 months minimum. So we're talking millions of dollars to treat this patient, one patient. But we did it because that kid deserved every possible chance at having a happy, productive life. And he now has a happy, productive life. He actually is in college. He's doing great. He fundraises for us. He's one of the examples of why we do what we do. And there's, tens of thousands of more kids just like that. It's gotten to the point with some of our research where it's, for years we said that the most important thing on our website was that donation button, because that's how you supported the work that we do. And that's still the case. But I would say for some of the things that we're treating, especially certain types of brain tumors and certain rare forms of leukemia and other types of cancer, like that referral button is also becoming just as important, because we think that we have cures for certain types of disease, but we don't have enough kids that are suffering from those types of disease that are in our care because the diseases are so rare. So brain cancers are incredibly rare type of cancer just in general, like a brain tumor, certain types of brain cancer, they're very, very rare. And so finding kids that have a certain type of brain tumor that you think you have a cure for, you have treatment for, getting them and making sure that the doctors, like say in a small town, know about St. Jude and know to look for these certain markers so they can refer it into our care. It's a daunting task to prove that we know that this cure works, but we have to give enough patients that have been treated by it in order to ensure that we're right, basically. And so that referral button is now just as important. I would encourage everyone out there, if they know anyone that they think might be suffering from a disease that we treat, to go ahead and hit that referral button. Doesn't cost you anything. There's no time lost except filling out that form. But if it's the sort of thing where we can take that patient, that patient's going to get the best medical care in the world, and what we learn by curing that patient will go on to help thousands more beyond them. So it's sort of this amplification factor. Like, we're the start of a very long and complicated funnel that is working on resolving all these horrible diseases that kids suffer through from no fault of their own. Something people will say is that, oh, you got cancer because you smoked, or you got cancer because you ate Taco Bell. Not saying anything negative about Taco Bell.
No, it's possible.
You ate bad food during your life, or you drank too much, you did these other things. And the reality is that the reason you get cancer is because when you damage your cells, they try to repair themselves and grow back. And when they do that, they roll the dice. And sometimes those dice come up snake eyes, and the cell, when the new cell is formed, something goes wrong. And sometimes when that thing goes wrong, it's the sort of thing where that cell decides to grow very, very rapidly and explode across the body. And sometimes your white blood cells don't recognize that as a threat, or sometimes it grows faster than your white blood cells can keep up with, or sometimes the white blood cells don't even realize it's there at all. And that's where cancer comes from. That's what cancer is. And when we have these kids that come into our care, they are suffering from a type of cancer that's purely genetic in nature, because they didn't have a lifetime of bad decisions that piled up that caused them to sort of come to this crossroads. I am almost 40 years old. I've lived my life in CD bars for a big chunk of it. When I get cancer later on in my life, I will have earned that cancer, from an honestly, bad life. But when a 3-year-old kid comes to us with leukemia, that kid never did anything wrong. That kid, they haven't lived a life that led them to that point. And so we look at that cancer, we look at it as an opportunity not to just help that kid, but also to have a breakthrough that helps all of us. Because again, the thing that goes wrong inside of them, if it's base genetic in nature, we can find what's causing that. And if we do our work right and we communicate our research well enough, other scientists and researchers can use that work to find cures for cancer in adults like us. So it's my hope that if we do our job right by helping our kids, we end up helping adults and everyone else all across the world. Like I really believe and hope that if there is a base genetic cure for cancer, it's going to start with the work that we do at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. It's going to start from our kids, and it's going to go on to save the rest of us.
When did you connect? That's a powerful message. And when did you guys start connecting with the folks at GuardianCon?
It started 3 years ago. Yeah, well, at the end of this year, it'll be 3 years ago. So a bunch of the GuardianCon guys, they had, what do you guys call it? On the waffle, SweatCon? Is that what you called it? Yeah, so SweatCon, when they had their accidental takeover of a bar in Tampa. And then the next year, like, oh, we should actually do a thing for this. And they rented out a big, I think it was the fairgrounds, that first official year. Yeah, and they did a thing at the fairgrounds. They were working with our office in Tampa. And so I sort of, like, we do 33,000 field events every single year. So like we do, almost 100 events a day all over the country, kind of like madness for St. Jude. So we have 30-ish odd field offices spread across the country. And there's one in Tampa. And the guys that live in Tampa were working with a lady in that St. Jude field office down in Tampa. And I didn't know about it. And the GuardianCon thing came across our stuff at like a national level, which is where I work. And I was like, oh, cool, I should reach out to these guys. And I reached out and I sent them an email and they're like, nah, we good. And I was like, what? But you're fundraising for us. You got all this stuff. Can we not help you guys out? They're like, nah, we good. We were covered. And I was like, okay. And then they raised, $520,000 that first year, something insane, like well over $500,000 against a goal of like 100K. Like it was sort of blew everyone's socks away. And then after that, they were like, oh, we should probably like talk to the National St. Jude office and figure out where we're going to go from here. And that's about the time that they got in touch with me and we started officially talking. And I guess they needed a bit more than, yeah, we good.
Well, St. Jude is very supportive. One of the things that our community would be aware of is our poster that we put out of guests that we sell to raise money for St. Jude is funded by St. Jude. They pay for all the production of it and shipping of it. Everything is done. So we design and implement and put out a poster that is all the guests throughout the year. And then the proceeds from that go towards St. Jude. And last year it was, it seems like a lot of money to us, but it's like we raised like almost $40,000 just from the sale of that poster. But it's that partnership that's meaningful, right? It's like I had an idea. And St. Jude's like, well, we've got the printers and we'll pay for it. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let's do this thing. And we can make some money. Right. And that goes towards the 150,000 that we were able to raise last year for the hospital that we're very proud of. So plugging into that connection or that, that group and everybody just chipping in that little bit can mean a lot.
Do you want to tell them the story about how you were delivering that $40,000 to us?
It was actually kind of funny. We were at GuardianCon and it was our first year doing it, so I hadn't really thought it through all that well. I figured, hey, we'll just charge $10 for the poster, and people started showing up in droves with just like money.
Cash.
And
Money.
Cash
money.
Skrilla. Like we got like money. And so I'm sitting here I'm going down a row of like hundreds of people long and just handing, who's got cash? And I've got a wad of cash in my hand and I'm sitting there making change and selling posters to hundreds of people. I got to a point where I didn't think this through. And so I had those cargo pants. And so I was shoving wads of cash into my pockets. And so I was like the squirrel with just cash stuffed everywhere. And I walked over and I'm like, it's hard to walk at one point. And I'm going, okay, I got to do something about this. So I walked over, St. Jude had a booth there. And I walked over to, I'm sorry, I'm going to forget her name, but Kelly was very helpful. And I walked over and I said, I gotta get rid of some of this cash. These are donations for you. She goes, okay, well just, give them to me. And I said, are you sure? She's like, yeah. And I said, okay. So I started emptying out my pockets and I was just dropping wads of cash on the table. And I got to about the second or third pocket and the pile was starting to form. And she's like, okay, wait. Stop. Let's get security over here. Let's do this. It was crazy. It was an amazing experience, and I'm really glad to be a part of it. We're doing another poster that we're going to be announcing tonight on the show. We're going to be making it available online. It was a big push last year. We only made it available at GuardianCon, so I think we can double our sales by just offering it online. It's a great poster. We're going to be selling it there, of course, but we're going to be giving you guys a link very soon here that will allow you to buy that poster. And, obviously that was crazy. It was a really fun time. And that's one of my favorite stories. It was just like, her eyes were just like, okay, stop right there. Because I still had another trip to go. I had to go back. My son was helping me sell, and he had pockets full, and 2 or 3 other people all had pockets full of money. And it was a great experience. And if you haven't been to GuardianCon and are going this year or on the fence, it really is a great experience, and you guys should consider it.
It's really
Absolutely.
great.
Yeah.
I would also say if you're going to GuardianCon, go get the pre-reg done ahead of time. If you're going to be there on Thursday, show up and do the early pre-reg and get your badges and everything, so you don't have to wait and deal with that line the day of.
Yeah.
It's a great, even the people in the line though are having a good time. It is it's a blast. So Omni, you connected with St. Jude and last year in big way with GuardianCon at the convention center, right? The fairgrounds. What experience are they going to be able to, let's talk about last year and what people were able to do when they got there, and what they can hope to see this year.
So a lot of things will be somewhat the same but improved, and a lot of things are going to change. So the space has physically grown, and it's not going to be the same, oh, this is a 4-H center that we've turned into this really, really cool convention space. But it's still a convention hall, a convention floor. At the fairgrounds, it was hot, and we had bunches of stages all over the place, and we had a little bike rack sprinkled over here, and some rope instantion over here, and some volunteers that were moo, and the herd of people going to meet and greet was moo. Which some of that'll be the same, some of it will be a little bit more consolidated, a lot more concentrated. So this year we opened registration at 9 a.m. and everybody will be getting to the convention center, and where we're lining people up is under this really, really big awning. Unfortunately, there's going to be super mega tons of people. Security is going to be super tight. We've got 4 metal detectors and wands and bag checkers and the whole shebang. Then you're going to walk in to the convention center proper. Our good friend Lady Desiree will be off to the side. She'll be serenading people as they enter with the stylings of her piano in that beautiful way that she does. And once you've gotten in, you'll have 2 paths to take. you'll either get to go directly to the left, and that's for people who need to purchase a badge on site. And then you can go directly to the right, where they'll check your badge and make sure that you have a physical badge. And then they'll put you in like a little holding area right there inside the nice air-conditioned convention center to be held until the doors open at 11. We have a separate entrance for VIPs and our ADA, wheelchair, things like that. That'll be another entrance. And they'll all come in, same thing, go through a set of metal detectors. They'll get their bags checked. Then they'll be in a holding area downstairs. They'll be able to go in at 10 o'clock for VIPs. And so that'll be really, really cool. Big change from last year. You're not standing outside in the sun. Hopefully security goes fast.
That was part of the street cred, though. Like, I mean, last year I was like, I had to wait out in the sun. And it was awesome.
Not just
I
I
heard nobody complain.
Like humidity, 100% humidity.
The sun,
it was
in the
Florida
sun.
sun and humidity.
You were
Yes.
taking shower after shower in the Florida swamp.
And what's crazy about Florida for me, and I'm sorry for this little aside, like 1 minute it was sunny and hot, and then the next minute it's pouring down buckets of rain.
Yeah.
That's Florida. It's like every afternoon you get like a torrential downpour.
Yeah.
That
That's
was
crazy.
today.
Is that
was
is
today.
it going to be raining
so,
next week, actually? I'm curious about the weather.
Yes.
We gotta start
It
looking
will
at
rain.
the weather.
It will.
We gotta-
Yeah. Thunders.
So, Omni, let me ask you, like, so now that you're entering into the convention hall, what booth wise, like, people are going to be able to go, and what are they going to be able to see there?
So when they come into the convention hall proper, they'll walk in, and the first thing that they'll see, I'll actually leave it as a surprise. They'll see it when we put the they'll get a taste when we put the piece up. But it's a really, really cool installation. We've got a couple people doing something really, really nifty right as you walk in. You'll be greeted with like giant letters that say cure, and you're walking in. Directly to the right of the entrance, you'll have the trading card game area and the arcade. Those will be directly off to the right. Trading card game area is
Trading
yep,
card.
So like
So,
Magic
like, you
the
could play
Gathering,
Magic there?
Yeast,
And you wouldn't have to. You
we're
wouldn't have
never
to
gonna
play
see
it at our
Patrick.
booth. You would never have to play it at the booth. You would actually be able to go to this specific area and play Magic.
Yes, correct.
Is Holtz going to have a
Or-
corner?
You know what I'm gonna do?
We could
I'm
have
gonna bring a bunch of
Holtzman's
posters and
Corner.
Yeah.
sign them over there.
There's
Yes!
it's a huge 20 table area. They're going to be running drafts. They're going to be doing
that's cool.
tournaments, like whole shebang.
Nice.
Super cool group of guys, and then they'll
That's
have
really
like stuff to buy and some pricing and stuff like that. Arcade's really showing out this year. My buddy Imran's bringing a lot of really, really cool stuff. Word on the street is there'll be a couple creators and a couple other surprise folks throwing down with some Street Fighter and NFL Blitz and stuff like that. So that'll be really, really cool.
I'll put my quarter down.
Oh man, dude, it's awesome. So you'll walk past that entire area and you'll be in this really cool open space, directly ahead of you, past the secret thing at the front. You'll see you guys' booth. You're right there. You're greeting the community as they come in. Directly to your right will be the artist alley. We've got a lot of really, really cool artists this year coming in, providing a whole lot of really cool community curated content and a lot of art from across, multiple games, multiple genres, and multiple mediums, which I'm really, really excited about.
That's cool.
They always show out really, really well. Directly behind them, a little bit further back, you will see the retail exhibitor area. So that's going to be like your DX Racers and your Control Freak and stuff like that.
Scuff's going to be there, right?
Yes. So if you go directly behind them, you will have, starting directly behind you, Buffalo Wild Wings. Realm Royale has a 12 PC play area.
Nice.
Directly behind them, of course, will be some game developer named Bungie. It's weird.
Sure.
They just
They
wanted
They made
to,
that
like, be
Myth
there.
game, right?
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
cool RTS
Yeah.
back in the day.
It was
Myth.
huge.
Are they
Yeah.
showing off a new
They're
card game?
they're bringing some game called Gamble.
Gamble, huh?
They're bringing some game
Yeah.
called Gamble. Some
Yeah.
guy does
Something
stuff
like
and
that.
things. Yeah, it's something like that. You'll have Digital Extremes. Will have this really cool giant booth, and they have maybe some surprises that I am not at liberty to discuss. That are going to be super cool. Scuff is going to be directly to their right. And then in the very center of that giant area, you have a really, really nice giant St. Jude booth, because not only are they the heart and soul of the convention and what we're celebrating and what we're coming together as a community to do, and really finding a way to amplify the message and the needs of St. Jude through the voices of the community. But also they have like all kinds of really fun activities that I will not reveal unless Zach wants to talk about them. And I'll let him talk about them in a second, because he's a little bit more well-versed to talk about them if he likes.
We're bringing VR headsets so you guys can tour the hospital
awesome.
from the floors of GuardianCon.
Oh, wow.
I think our VR team's been working on it for a while. We'll have bespoke VR experiences for the GuardianCon attendees.
That's really cool.
It's actually something
Yeah,
that
it's super cool.
something that we've been working with in education for kids that can't go to on trips to museums and things like that, that they can actually take these virtual tours of these spaces. But it's an amazing platform. I'm glad you guys are doing it. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, we see a lot of potential in VR and AR to help us tell compelling stories in spaces like GuardianCon or E3 or TwitchCon, or like when we just go and talk one-on-one with someone who can't come to the hospital, like either they're, not near Memphis. Because again, like we're in Memphis, it's like it's one extra hop off a main like flight route. It's not the easiest city in America to get to. We know that, but if we can use a little bit of technology and bring the hospital to you, then we're definitely going to do that. And that's sort of GuardianCon will be our first real debut of this tech that we've been working on for a while now.
That's really cool.
It's awesome.
So we're gonna. Did you get to the main event, like the gamble? The gambit?
Yes, the gamble. So let me finish. So finish off the floor plan. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are bringing a really, really cool, gigantic like RV and quarterback experience and all that jam. So they'll be in there with us. So that kind of like helps out the area. So directly to the left of all that good stuff is going to be the main stage. The main stage is we're going to be featuring all kinds of really, really, really fun stuff, charity blitzes. So something that we're doing this year is we're carrying the fundraising all the way through the convention, because again, like it's the heart of what we're celebrating, and we want to continue to celebrate that and continue to expound upon that and amplify the voices of those in need through the voices that we as a community have. So that's kind of proper. As far as programming, everything is very much kind of going to be super special and an organic experience as people experience it come day of for those broadcasts and for those charity blitzes. There are short descriptions for some of the charity blitzes to give you a little bit of an idea. For instance, if you look at the website, it's called, if I'm mistaken, I don't want to get this wrong because this is a very, very specific activation, but the main stage event for Gambit is called the Gambit Exhibition Tournament. It's going to be a really, really, really cool situation. I actually have a nice description that I was sent that I need to update the website with, so I'll be super official.
Hot off the presses.
We're hearing it first. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Bungie already spoiled this earlier today, man.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
Well, I'm going to read it anyway. So it's 4 teams featuring Bungie developers, community leaders, and all will face off in a Gambit Exhibition Tournament. Destiny's new competitive co-op activity combines PvE and PvP in an explosive race to burn down the enemies of humanity and invade each other. Watch as your favorite content creators fight for honor and bragging rights. 4 teams will be whittled down to a final 2 that will play one final match, winner take all.
We can't talk about the teams.
But we can. People are allowed to announce that they are playing in it, just not which team they are on.
I'm not saying nothing.
So
it's in an email. Don't worry.
It's in an email. I'm reading it right now. I'm playing it, and Watts is playing it, and we are going to destroy Face. And
yes.
I'm excited. I'm excited
for
being on the main stage and representing the podcast. You know, my PvE skills are much greater than my PvP skills, so I think I'm going to hold up the killing of the thrall
Well, we'll be cheering Watts on.
The programming list looks really great, Omni.
It looks amazing.
We've got on Saturday, I believe, is our slot for our podcast too.
Mm-hmm.
There's a ton of stuff going on at the convention, man. There's a how many so you've got the so we're doing a podcast on a separate area, right? There's a lore show going on.
Yep. So Bife is coming back strong with his lore panel. So he and his buddies will be back on stage, really doing their thing, interacting with their community, pitching lore questions, pitching lore theories. A lot like what they did last year. Our good friend She Snaps is doing a really cool panel on mental health that I wholeheartedly and completely recommend checking out. That woman is fiercely passionate about positive growth in mental health within the gaming space, and has a lot of really, really cool experiences and unique insights that are going to be brought to light during that panel. So I definitely recommend that. We also have our friends from Fireteam Chat. They will be hanging out and running a Fireteam Chat up there also. Lots of fun stuff. Lots of really, really good community hang time.
I'm excited for the beers that are going to be cracked during the jam.
Excited for the beers that are going to be left over from the jam.
Oh yeah. So last year, Omni, I just want you to know that last year we were scheduled after the jam in the studio, right there. And so when we sat down to do our podcast live, we there was a cooler up there.
You found the wheelbarrow of apple juice,
and we may have had some apple juice while we were recording.
Apple
the podcast,
juice is refreshing. It's the Florida heat.
I believe it was stolen, but
it tastes better if it is stolen.
There's an interesting one that I wanted to ask you about. The say hello to Facebook Gaming and Mixer. We just had Josh Stein on last week, and we were talking to him. He's the community manager over at Mixer, and they had some great stuff going on. We talked a lot about the improvements or what's coming down the pipe for streaming platforms. Who's going to be on that panel for Facebook Gaming and Mixer?
So that's another one of those that I'm not really at liberty to talk about. Just being super mysterious about it. We got a lot of really, really cool personalities. I think if you really pay attention or have been watching a lot of the changes and a lot of the moves for people in this space, it's going to be a lot of people talking, to their change in experience in the gaming space, in the broadcast space, how it's, positively or negatively impacted their life.
Sure.
What their outlook for the future is, how they're interacting with other platforms now that they've moved around. So like I said, I'm sure you can guess, but a lot of our really, really good friends are going to be up there.
It's awesome.
Doing the thing.
Yeah. And I see you saved the best for last, which is great. The schedule, it puts us, the Destiny Community Podcast live at the Rare Drop Theater Saturday at 3:30. We're going to close down the show. It's going to be great. I'm excited for it. You're going to, do you know if this year we're going to be, it's going to be just in session guests, or is it going to be able to be broadcast live?
So you will be able to broadcast to the Rare Drop channel via the Rare Drop Theater. We'll have PC, microphone, the whole jam up in there, ready to go.
Cool.
Yeah, that's great.
That's exciting stuff. We knew that ahead of time. We didn't just find out about that right now. That's going to be fun. So great. We're excited. We've got booth number 7. As you know, Bungie. 7. We got 7. Lucky 7.
Wow.
So make sure to come by and say hi. We've got On-Air PC there, building a PC live for you guys to see. And then we're going to raffle that sucker off. So some of the at GuardianCon will get a chance to win that PC that they are building there. And any of the donations to get a chance to win that PC will be going to St. Jude's.
Save
St.
some
Jude.
space in your luggage. Jeez.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So we've got
if
a lot.
you flew there and you win that PC,
Good luck.
They are paying for
That'll
shipping
fit under the seat. in front
wherever
of you,
you
I
live.
swear.
Wherever they live, because we got people coming from all over the planet for
That's
GuardianCon.
true.
So
That's true. I believe that's
Yes.
what he said. So let's if it's not, then I'm sorry. We'll have clear.
We'll pay for it. It's fine. We'll figure
Will
it
we?
out.
Will we?
Wait, yes, it's fine.
Have you ever paid for a
If you
computer
win
to
it-
ship to like
If
Botswana?
you win the raffle, you're not gonna have to pay like $400 to get it back to your place. Kind of
Okay.
defeats the purpose.
Agreed. So that's- all right. So let's. I love to do this on the fly. So we. I wanted to ask a little bit more from Zachary about before we go into any specific questions that might be coming up from our Twitter followers. But you guys have made a positive impact on the gaming community and connected with the St. Jude Play Live. Is there any way that like if you're a small, like you don't have to be a large content creator, right? You don't have to put on GuardianCon to connect to this. How does if I'm a small streamer or just somebody that wants to contribute to this, how do I do that?
it's super easy. You just go to playlive.stjude.org. It's a quick registration process. It takes less than 3 minutes from the time you hit that website until the time you're ready to start fundraising. We give you some tools. We have a Discord that you can come visit, discord.gg/stjudeplaylive. We've got people that hang out all the time giving out advice about how to get started. And then we give you a toolkit that you can take and open up. And inside that, you'll find a nice little donation button that you can slap into your Twitch or Mixer. Facebook doesn't let you do it yet. Channels, and start fundraising for us. We have big activations every May, every November, December for our creative stuff, and then we're adding some more stuff throughout the year. So we always have something going on. We always make sure that if that's your first time finding out about us and you want to do more, we've got something for you right now. Like right now here in July, our activation is GuardianCon. So GuardianCon is the thing that we're pushing. We want everyone to go and fundraise for GuardianCon. Beyond that, come to playlive.stjude.org and check it out and see what we're all about. But really, it's any broadcaster of any size can use their audience to help the kids at St. Jude. And even if you don't broadcast, you can still help out. I had a friend, he raised $1,100 over the course of a weekend just through Mortal Kombat 10 tournaments at his house. He basically said, I'm going to open my doors from basically like noon on Friday through noon on Sunday. Come on by. We'll have food. We'll have beer. The catch is you got to play Mortal Kombat and you got to donate if you lose. And so people were like basically just going at like giant ladder matches. And then they would do stuff like, I will donate $100 right now if you double flawless this dude right now. Can you do it? And then somebody would do it, and suddenly the whole place would freak out, and we would throw down $100 to donate for this dude's thing. And he never turned on a stream. He never got a Twitch account, but he said, I like video games and I like my friends, and let's bring those two things together and give them a reason to donate through a fun activity. And
That's really cool.
basically anything you can think of, you can find a way to fundraise through on Twitch. When our creative stuff happens in the holidays, we actually had a broadcaster that streamed themselves making their Thanksgiving dinner. And just said, this is holiday time to talk about family and being thankful for stuff, and I'm thankful for the work that St. Jude does, and we're going to do a charity stream where you guys can sort of pick the stuff that goes into these ingredients, into these dishes, and they did a Thanksgiving dinner that way.
That's awesome.
So I will never not be amazed at the things that our broadcasters will come up with to fundraise. And again, like it doesn't take like a huge audience. Like, if you're the person that just loves streaming and you'll have like one or two people that come and hang out, just letting them know what we do makes all the difference in the world. Because again, that referral button is sometimes more important than that donate button. And helping to spread the word about what we do to the gaming community is super, super important. especially when you think about the fact that, I mean, St. Jude is a charity. We've been around 55 plus years. Our primary donor is someone who is much older than all of us. And we're having trouble actually reaching a younger audience, which is part of the reason why the work that we do here is so important. Because I was worried for a while that of all the things that would happen, like our generation would be the generation that failed this place that has done so much to help the entire world. Like, I mean, just put it in context, right? Like, so when we started back in 1962, the overall pediatric cancer survival rate was 20%. So I'm looking at 5 little Skype boxes in front of me right now, which means that one of you, if you had all gotten cancer as a child, one of you would have survived back when we opened.
Wow.
That's
And
crazy.
now our survival rate is 80%, which means that we've essentially flipped the whole thing around. So where only one of you would lose your fight against cancer. And we would learn what happened in that one case to make sure that the next patient that comes to us with that disease has even better odds until we get it right and we find that cure. For the most common form of pediatric cancer, when we started, the survival rate was 4%. So 4 out of every 100 kids beat their fight with that disease, and now it's 94%. And that's because of the research and the work that we do there. And we're able to do that because we've got 10 million active donors that give to us, and they help ensure that this hospital that costs over $1 billion a year to run. Like, let's not mince words. Like, this is not a cheap endeavor that we do here. Having the resources to cure the hardest to cure diseases is not an easy thing to come by. And those 10 million active donors ensure that we're able to do that and able to make sure that we never have to send our patients a bill or worry about an insurance company telling us, no, you can't give that patient another bone marrow transplant. They've already had one. They don't get to have another. You only get one per life. Did you guys know this? Most insurance companies, if you have a bone marrow transplant for leukemia, they have the right to refuse to ever give you another bone marrow transplant, to okay the treatment for another bone marrow transplant. Did you also know that leukemia is the most common form of cancer to come back? So they're essentially saying, like, we don't believe, like, oh, the cure didn't work the first time. Cool, we're just going to write you off. And we don't believe that's how it should be. We don't believe that for our patients. Like, we'll go, okay, cool, fine, we've got it covered. We didn't need you anyway. We've had patients that have had upwards of 3 bone marrow transplants.
That fucking sucks, man. That's ridiculous.
And like, each one of those bone marrow transplants is $500,000. Each one of those rounds of going through the chemo, the radiation, the transplant, the curing process, like, it's $500,000 in just that one part of their treatment. Like, when you have a bone marrow transplant, they radiate the stuff that, like, keeps you healthy. They basically wipe out your immune system. And those kids have to spend, sometimes months isolated in small rooms away from their family. Like, you have to put on clean suits to go and see your kid because their immune system is so weakened. And sure, we've gotten the survival rate for that type of cancer that's treated in that way up to a pretty high level, but that's still horrible to have to go through. And it's one of the reasons, like, our next big capital investment at the hospital is we are building this $400 million research tower that's going to be unlike any other building in the world. It's got entire floors that are environmentally sealed, so patients that have immunocompromised diseases can freely walk around a space that's bigger than this closet room that I'm in right now, like this 5x10 room, this tiny space. Like, they get to have a normal life, because just because they're going through this stuff doesn't mean that their life needs to stop or needs to change or that life's not going to go on after. I mean, we've got elementary schools, we got a high school. We go all the way pre-K through high school graduation. We have a prom on campus. We actually bring in, we're partnered with Carnival Cruises. They bring their party DJ down, and we throw a prom every spring on campus. We have kindergarten graduation. We have high school graduation. All right, so here's one of the things I love. When you come to St. Jude, you are met by 3 people. You're met by your primary care physician, the person that's going to be responsible for your treatment while you're here. You're met with the primary nurse that's going to be walking you through that treatment. So they're the person that's actually going to be applying the treatments that you come in and get on a daily basis. And then you're met by a child life specialist. And a child life specialist is someone that basically is responsible for everything that's not your medical treatment. So your emotional health, your spiritual health, your family health, like making sure that you're doing your schoolwork, because again, like we don't want a kid to come to St. Jude and decide to blow off their schoolwork for the 2 years they're here for leukemia treatment and then go home and suddenly they flunk out. Like that's not acceptable. Like you are still a student and you will go to school.
That's
like
huge.
it's that person is responsible for maintaining that normalcy of a life while you are fighting for your life. And it does make a huge difference. It's kind of hilarious. One of the things they'll advise our parents to do is to not spoil their kids while they're in treatment. Because the first response for a parent, like you've got a sick kid, is like, give them whatever they want. Like, you want that toy? Sure. If it makes you happy, of course, I will give you that toy. And the child life specialist is like, just keep in mind, like, your kid's going to get healthy one day and go home. And suddenly you get whatever he wants. Like, sure, like, indulge the child, but also be mindful and, like, maintain boundaries.
Get better. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's huge. I think that speaking for the podcast and our community, we really value the work that St. Jude does, and we're thankful we're thankful for the opportunity to contribute in the ways that we do. Omni, before I let you guys go, because we're going to jump into a crapload of
We're going to argue
Destiny
with
stuff.
each other about Destiny.
We're going to
It's
argue
gonna be
about
exciting.
Destiny. It's going to be
What are you guys
great.
going to argue about?
Yeah, this is
stuff.
interesting to me.
You know, so but I wanted to ask, is there anything else you want to like share with our audience about GuardianCon 2018 that that maybe they're on the fence of coming, you know, or they just get them excited about the con?
So I have organized conventions, I've coordinated events, I've run parties, I've run large-scale gaming communities. You know, if it's got a acronym name from the Halo 2 days, I ran it, I financed it, I sent people to the events. I was there when somebody was arrested for doing blow off the back of the toilet. I've been all
Sorry.
around. Oh yeah, it's a whole
Guilty.
Briar, it's never going to
You know,
end.
I have been to many conventions and been involved in many communities, and I love them all in very specific ways. But GuardianCon is a intensely unique experience, at least to me, that kind of highlights and punctuates at the same time what it means to be a part of like a greater, larger gaming community. The way that you interact with people, the way that we've come together specifically to amplify the voices of the kids of St. Jude, to amplify the needs of the hospital, to kind of like stand as best we can as gamers and show that gaming does good by standing beside them in their mission. It's a really cool experience, and it's really, really hard to describe. Like if you're a kid and your parents aren't super into like your gaming habits, GuardianCon's a really, really good place to bring them. If you are looking at a future in the gaming industry, GuardianCon's a good place to go because you get to interact with broadcasters, you get to interact with every facet of the industry that there is, and learn like a little bit more about it. Like you get to peek a little bit behind the curtain because we're all just there to share this really, really cool experience, share our lives. Because like we're just people who all want to raise money for some kids, man.
Do you guys want to know what's actually behind the curtains at GuardianCon? Piles and piles of DX Racer boxes. That's all there is.
Yeah, there's that.
I've been there. You're right.
Lots of
It's
them.
just crazy.
And
And piles and piles of money too. That's it looks sort of like a crack den. It's really odd. Just like lots of boxes, lots of money piled up and blow on the back of the
Whoa.
It's just weird guys walking around in cargo pants.
with
You know,
lots of cash.
Wads.
Sounds
It's-
like any great party in college, to be honest.
Yeah, right. It's a cool experience. It's one of a kind. You know, I definitely recommend that you come at the very least to hang out and take part in what it is that we're doing from an activity standpoint. You know, if you are coming, just a couple like quick notes, like come to pre-reg, literally all day Thursday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Get your badge. It makes things a lot easier. No cash. Cash does not exist at our event. No one's exchanging cash or should be exchanging cash. Everything's gonna be to the best of our ability plastic. You know,
We
if you're
take cash.
cosplaying, make
We take
sure that
lots of
you
cash.
you have no face coverings and your weapons are very obviously pieces of plastic and not real. So the police officers that we have that are helping us with our bag checks and things don't feel in any way, shape, or form off-put. But other than that, man, come hang out. I want to meet like all of you.
It's good stuff.
You won't see me much because I'm all over the place, but yeah, come hang out.
If you see a blur of a human being with a just running from one place to another, you're probably a safe bet that it's Omni.
Yeah, it's either that or my after image. Also, because I'm being yelled at to release the secrets, the Facebook and Mixer panel attendees and participants are as follows: Rocket Bear, Gaming Fox, Darkness 429, and Geek Chick.
Cool.
Nice.
So
Awesome.
That's going to be a fun
there
one.
you go.
Yeah,
You
no,
heard it
that's great.
here. But yeah, no, that's it, man. Come to GuardianCon, come hang out, come see our show.
And it really is a good time. The meet and greets, the con is part of it. I'd say it's about 50%. The other 50% is seeing your friends and the access to content creators. I got to meet so many people that were fans of the show and give hugs and selfies. And I mean, my cheeks hurt. I was smiling so much. It was just a great time.
My eyes hurt. I was crying. Every time someone's like, "Oh," I was like, "Oh, what do you mean? Thank you."
Crying
thank
in a
you,
good
you're
way?
amazing."
How
In a
many
good
way,
way,
in a
times
good
does
way.
somebody
In a
tell
great
you
way.
that they look up to you?
Yeah, that's nuts.
A lot at those conventions, and that's the crazy thing, right? Is that when you're sitting here behind your screen and just streaming, playing a game, it's very hard to understand that someone looks up to you in that kind of way. But I remember when I was at GuardianCon last year, and there was a little girl with her dad. She must have been 10, and she was in a line to meet me at my meet and greet. And the line got cut off before she was able to get in the line to come and meet me. And she was about to start crying when her dad saw me and pulled me aside and was like, she was about to start crying that she couldn't meet you. And that ended me. I just started crying. I was like, oh, please give me a hug. And that kind of thing is amazing. And I've only had those experiences at GuardianCon. It's
the amount of
unparalleled with meeting your community and hanging out with them and hugging everyone. It's the best.
The amount of like fun stuff that people come up with in the meet and greets afterwards, the parties and stuff there where people hang out. People just have a great time. And we're going to have one on Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday night.
Saturday night. Are we ready to give out the deets to that?
The time still kind of has to be locked down because we're still figuring out what's happening at the end of that day. So
fair enough. All right.
Okay.
So
pay attention to DCP's Twitter.
Yep.
We're going to do a meet and greet afterwards. Yeah.
And that's where you get to drink with us, and
Yeah, it's more of a drink and greet.
Apple juice.
A drink and greet.
We're doing a drink and greet of apple juice. Yeah. Zach, I really appreciate you coming on, man, and I appreciate the work you're doing. I know this means a lot to our community. It's something that is, I know it helps support St. Jude and the mission. It's also a galvanizing effect in our community. It's something that we can all rally behind, and it does so much to bring us closer together in a common cause. And so I thank you for that opportunity. And for you coming on. Is there anything you want to leave our audience with before you sign off?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I want to do is thank you guys for letting me come on and have this opportunity to talk to your community and to sort of help educate about what we do and why we do it. And then to thank the entire Destiny community for all the love and support they've shown us. I couldn't be prouder of the work that we've achieved together, and I look forward for years going forward. I guess the last thing I want to say is a couple years back, somebody did the math about how much it costs to run the hospital a second. And we had to do the math again this year because medical costs keep going up. And it works out to be $32 a second to keep the hospital open, which seems like an absolutely insane amount of money, right? Like $32 a second. Like if you were to take $32 a second out of my bank account, I would be homeless very, very quickly. But there's a flip side to that too. And that flip side is that if you donate or fundraise $32 to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, you have essentially invested a second in what we do. I like to use invest better, like more than donate, because it's really what you're doing. You're investing in what we're doing. And when you invest that $32, when you invest for a second, you're enabling every second that comes after that. So if we didn't have someone that gave us that first, $5, $10, whatever it cost back in the day to open the doors for the first time, then none of this would still be here. And if we don't have the $32 that it takes to fund this second right now when I'm speaking, we wouldn't have the hospital that comes after that, because we can never miss one of those seconds. And so when you donate or fundraise at $32, you invest and you give us every second that comes after that, which means that every single breakthrough, every single life that we save, every single parent we send home with a healthy and happy kid, every time a patient gets to graduate or go to prom or meet the person they're going to fall in love with, oh crap. Sorry, sometimes I still get myself a little emotional just talking about this stuff because it means so much to me. That single $32 donation enables that stuff. It enables everything we get to do after that. So I know, like, sometimes people can't do a lot, and I totally get that, and I'm not asking you to do anything, but I will say that if you make that conscious choice, just once a year at least, to give that $32, it will be something that you will appreciate, and that you will understand that investment as you continue to do it, and you see what we are able to do with that single second. Because that single second means lives for not just us, but people all over the world. It's our goal in the next couple of years to get to the point where our research impacts 30% of all pediatric cancers worldwide. So right now it's 3%, and we want to get it to 30%. So 1,000% increase over the next couple of years. And those single second donations, those $32 at a time, that's what enables that sort of progress to happen, enables those lives to get saved. So yeah, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, and for everyone at St. Jude here in Memphis. Man, thank you so much for all those seconds you guys have given us. I promise you we have done amazing things with them.
We have an opportunity on Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern time for our audience to connect with us.
9 a.m. Pacific.
9 a.m. Pacific.
Yes. I'm
so sorry. 9 a.m. Pacific. To join us on the stream and give an opportunity to support us, to support St. Jude, and to donate. Thank you very much. Omni, I appreciate you coming on. Zach, I thank you very much for your work. I know you guys got to cut out, but we're going to be, in a little bit after we finish our podcast, we're going to be rating the GuardianCon stream that is currently live and active. We will be sending all of our love that direction in just another hour or so. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
So much, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, and I will connect with you guys in chat with the upload link, and make sure you guys are able to put your audio up into a place where we can find it.
Cool.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
There is that awkward bye, isn't there? Always.
Hey guys.
Yes.
Future workout one.
Future.
Do you want to know something even more amazing?
What's that?
If you look at the THWABBY today, you will see that
Throwing that out there.
still had more people pledged than
Yes.
Future Workout.
That's true.
This is definitely amazing.
This
I'm
just
not gonna lie
shows
to
the
you.
Future
I'm one of
Workout
those
work
people.
ethic.
I was pledged to Dead Orbit because I had already maxed out Future Workout in the first faction rally, but I didn't care. I think I turned in 3 tokens.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
You turned in 3
Thank you.
tokens?
Like, it was literally like I didn't do anything.
Really? Why'd you pledge then?
Yeah. I don't know.
Like, were you drunk? Moment of weakness?
I mean, the space between drunk and sober is so blurred at this point that I
Okay.
really can't answer that question.
Maybe you accidentally held the button
figured-
and pledged?
I figured I'd go over there and, pledge, and maybe I'd work on getting the catalyst. But I was like, you know what? 50 levels of Dead Orbit? I can't do that to myself. I can't do that to myself. I can't do that to the universe. I can't draw that kind of bad karma into the universe. So I just abandoned it and played Crucible the whole time.
That's why you had to do what I did, which was make sure you do at least the same amount of packages on a separate console. Separate system, if not more. And I did put more packages into Future War Cult than I did Dead Orbit. I ended up deleting like probably 600, 700 tokens from Dead Orbit also after I hit the 50 mark.
So you went and did 50 levels on Dead Orbit, 50 levels on Future War Cult in 1 week.
Yeah, actually, it actually wasn't that bad. I mean, I had a bunch left over too. Like I said, I deleted almost 600-700 tokens as well.
Oh my god! Yeah.
But Charlemagne Bot kept on saying that Future War Cult was winning by a landslide, so I wasn't worried, honestly. But after seeing the THWABBY today, I was like, oh my god!
It was pretty.
They didn't win by that much.
We almost lost that.
Yeah, it was pretty close.
It's funny. 41% of Guardians pledged to Dead Orbit, and only 31 pledged to Future War Cult. But 37% of tokens turned in were Dead Orbit, and 42%. So it's almost like they swapped.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. They just Future War Cult, man. They just worked it this week.
Let's just call it what it is. There may have been more Dead Orbit, devotees, but they're lazy.
Lazy Orbit,
like
snooze Orbit.
They are the snooze lazy Orbit.
Briar pledged and was like, "Damn, is that space trash? I'm gonna take a nap."
I'm tired.
I couldn't live with myself. Like I couldn't even.
I mean, when you spend that much time putting on mascara, you don't have a whole lot of time to.
Where did this studded belt come from?
Why is there a zipper on my cloak?
Why do I have a choker on?
Why do I have a choker on? Oh my gosh! Can we talk about that sidearm?
It's pretty good, man.
Pretty good.
It's pretty good, man.
Pretty damn good.
What did you get at Masterworks for?
I went for, I think it was stability.
Yeah, I reworked it for stability, and it's stupid good.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's 2 bursts, right? With
kill clip. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's fast.
Pretty fast. Yeah.
It's nice. And I was playing with True Vanguard, and he said that he had just put it on and played some matches earlier with it and got a 22 or 25 win streak going with it, just with that sidearm. So it's a beautiful little machine.
We'll pick it up before next Tuesday.
Yes.
I mean, everybody can buy it. You just got to pay a lot more.
50,000 glimmer.
Yeah. You just got to contribute to the Future War Cult fund.
Exactly.
No big deal. So wait, you can buy it if you're not.
Might not be able to buy this week's Doc Martens if you want to pick up that side.
Yeah, if you're not pledged, you can buy it. You just have to pay a healthy fee.
A lot.
That's a sham. That's a mockery.
Only Future War Cult people should have to buy it, you think?
It'd be even more spicier of a victory, that's for sure.
It would be.
I mean, I don't feel like I need to lord over our victory over our the lesser
I definitely
actions.
Do. I think it's
mind doing it.
Not only implied, it's our right to lord over our victory.
Absolutely. It's not like they were graceful in victory when they won.
All great things come to people who
didn't you wear
patient.
a Dead Orbit t-shirt when they won?
I don't really care, guys. I have a shirt from each faction, and
so you're not
I usually
loyal.
wear whatever. No, I wear whatever one is like most controversial. That
Man, I am loyal to FWs. Do you see the Twaz did that? He put out like a concept.
Adidas.
Yeah, a concept of Adidas shoes with the factions, and
I want
the
those.
new FWC shoes look amazing. I wish they were real. I would totally buy a pair of those.
We need to hook up some companies together and get these to be a real
right?
thing.
That would be
Bungie,
fantastic.
Adidas, Bungie, make it happen,
please.
and then
Yeah,
pay
they're
Twaz a bunch
beautiful.
of money for Doing it.
If you haven't seen
It
them,
is
check
awesome.
them out. They are
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Twas on Twitter.
Well, we've got we had a fun. There's been some talk. Bungie asked for some input on faction wars or faction rally, and what did we think? You know, they're obviously continuing to adjust it and make some adjustments. Did you guys find that you had anything to contribute for from after playing it? Like, obviously, it's not finished. You know, they said if there's anything that we want to say,
I think the biggest thing is that it's heavily swayed based on the catalyst. And yes, I know Future War Cult won mostly because of the catalyst, but I don't care. A win is a win. You know, you can't take it away.
Yeah,
you could say that
Can't
about
take
Dead
it away.
Orbit. They won because it's all black colors and they had Graviton Lance first. Whatever, doesn't matter. But I do think that it could change a little bit in that sense, where like maybe it would be better if they had you chose whichever catalyst was available of the three. Like I know Triple was saying that on Twitter, and yeah, I feel like it would be more of a truer victory in the future.
Yeah.
that's true. I mean, if I had a choice, I've always enjoyed and pledged to Triple. I mean, New Monarchy. That's really the one that I've been most loyal to. I think it looks best on my Titan.
Executor Ari.
See, for me, Executor Ari is definitely who I pledge myself to. But so if I had a choice of a catalyst, I think I would have mained New Monarchy. I wonder who's going to win next one.
I gotta say, year one of Destiny 2 has been about public events. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm kind of getting bored with public events now. So I'm ready. Like faction rally, moving on. I'd really like to see, like, if they want to keep it like a PvE thing, then make more PvE activities count in a big way. Like it was nice that they added the lost sectors into the formula so that you're doing public events and lost sectors. But I mean, really, it's year one of Destiny 2 has just been super public event heavy, and I'm ready to chill on public events for a while.
Yeah.
I want to see the leaders of the factions get in an argument, and they're like, "Oh, you suck!" And then it says faction rally, and then it smashes into pieces, and then it says faction war.
Yeah.
And then that's when it becomes
Lakshmi whips
Gambit.
out the vision. Kills them all.
That's what it.
Gambit
that's
is
what it put in
such a
Gambit.
good addition. Yeah.
It would be so perfect for faction wars.
Yes, it
have a
would.
separate playlist where it's like faction wars, Gambit.
Yes.
You have Future Warco versus New Monarchy, Future Warco versus your Dead Orbit, however you want to do it. That way it's PvE, it's PvP, it's a really fun game mode. I think it would.
You
it
could
would
do
work so well.
matchmaking based on like who you pledge to. So you always get match made with other people who are pledged the same faction, and then you only earn points to your faction if you win the match.
Yep, that would be
That
amazing.
would be dope.
That would be really cool. I would love it also. Like they need to make it so it's 100% more on those faction war type of side, but like all activities contribute towards it, because they're talking about how many packages you turned into, or how many packages you turned in, which you feel like you turned into packages by the end of it because of how many you've actually collected. And Briar's 100% right. Doing a bunch of public events and then running lost sectors, like the renown system is an interesting idea, but it needs to be about all the things you do in the game. Like if you raid, it should be like points that say your faction did that raid. It's adding to the cause. You did PvP matches. You did strikes. You did Gambit. You know, like all that stuff really should count.
Now you do get additional faction tokens in other events, but it's not the most efficient way.
You get like
get rid of the token system.
Yeah.
Get rid of the token system. Make me feel like I'm fighting for my faction, not just like turning in tokens at my faction. Like make it feel like I'm doing something and I'm making the world a better place through my faction.
How would they do that though? I don't.
Well, for each activity, like what Tefty said, you could have it give points towards the faction rather than actually collecting tokens and turn them in.
Are you talking about a faction reputation system?
What?
You know,
this sounds groundbreaking.
It's a little insane.
We need to hear more about this. Is there another game where we've seen this, or in action?
Does this have roots in a certain other first-person shooter that we're aware of?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah,
Has a
me
really
neither,
similar
me neither.
name.
I can't
No.
pinpoint it honestly.
Yeah, absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
No.
We also need leaderboards so we can see who's winning in game.
Yes.
I want it in the tower.
Yeah, that's
100%. I would have been like, oh my god, I need to jump on PS4 and do like 1,000 packages because of how close Snooze Orbit would have been on the leaderboard.
Yeah.
If I knew they were that close, I wouldn't have fallen asleep. I would just play through the night.
Yeah, man. Exactly.
Hey, did you guys happen to re-up your Game Informer?
Hold up. Before we go there, we need to make a thing about how spoilers and not spoilers, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are we
I mean,
are we going
did you
into
guys read the article?
No.
Okay, I did not read the entire article because the first one they put out was pretty long.
Yeah.
From the actual magazine itself. I read a decent amount of it. I read parts where people were kind of telling me the non-spoiler parts that I could read. So for me, non-spoiler would be things like sandbox. Like, you know, that's not really giving away the mystery for me in Destiny, but I don't want to see about new exotics. I don't want to see about the end game.
They are going so heavy on that, Watts. I mean,
going in.
they're showing the exotics. They're showing the Barons. They're giving backstory on the Barons.
Uh-huh.
So this is the thing, like in regards to the Barons, I'm totally fine with knowing their lore because that's just really interesting and that gets me excited to kick their ass. But when I was looking through it and I saw actual clips of them fighting the Barons, I was like, no.
Video. Yeah,
No.
they're showing video
That's too
on the
much.
website of fighting the Barons.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
And where they are. I mean, that's in the video.
It shows environment. It shows some of their movements and their things. These are things that like when you first see it, when you play it, those are the memories that you get. And like we're getting it from the Game Informer article a little bit.
Yeah.
And they could have I think they could have done that article and just given us the lore because it's super, super interesting. And then just have even just a picture of the Baron and some crazy screenshot. You don't need videos. I don't need to see you doing damage to the Baron. I don't want to see that. But, you know, knowing the lore, knowing who they are, how they got to be this Baron makes me like, oh, I can't wait to fight that Baron. But I don't want to see.
I avoided all of it for exactly that reason, Briar. Watts, I just could not connect to it. I saw how much they were putting out there, and so if we do a little spoiler thing, I'm totally cool with that. I'm gonna mute my mic. I'm gonna take.
I started reading the Game Informer article and I stopped because I don't want to know about the new exotics. To me, one of the joys of playing Destiny is getting an exotic I've never heard of and reading the description to see what it does. It's a thing that is hard for me to maintain because of what we do, but it's one of the highlights of playing a new DLC. So like,
I think we need to cover it though.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
I think we need to cover it,
coming down the
You
road.
didn't even read it. How are you going to cover it, Pope?
Well, what we're gonna do, and we thought about this, and I thought about it because we talked about it in the Twitter chat. Is going over some of that information. Tefty's delved into it, read it, and then just react to it. But we'll cut in and out for spoilers with the video. Ash made a little pick.
Ash made a thing.
Right.
So what we're planning on doing, as long as Tefty has sorted this out, I assume he has.
Not for Twitch, actually. Putting a spoiler thing up on top.
Yeah, what we were planning is that if you just keep the podcast running on Twitch, you can physically see that it will say spoilers, and then as soon as that's gone, you can turn your audio back on.
That's right.
What about the podcast?
Well, the podcast we're going to say spoilers right now. So
Yeah, I
spoilers
kind of feel like we're going in the spoiler territory now at this point, right?
All right, let's do it. So let's say until Twitter questions start, we're like it's full on spoiler time. Let's give it a half hour of spoilers.
We'll put a little marker on the YouTube channel so that you can skip ahead.
Who's doing that exactly?
Yeah.
I will.
You doing that? Sweet. All right.
Since we've been partnered on
so
YouTube
we'll do
now. So
30 minutes. Are we partnered? Nice.
Yeah.
30 minutes of spoilers starting now. And then we'll do Twitter questions with no spoilers.
Okay.
Okay.
So set your alarms, guys.
All
Set
right.
your alarms.
I looked at
So
the
mute
clock
us.
at 8 p.m. or 8 p.m. We're going to be done
8 p.m. Even if we're in the middle of a spoiler, we're
We're
gonna shut up.
nipping
Dude,
it.
if this is
Okay.
the start of the summer too, this is the start
Is
of
it the
the
start?
summer.
I can't
Oh my
believe they
God.
did this. I
All
really
We're
right.
can't.
doing
do
it every day,
everything.
dude. I hate
Mhm.
this.
Guys,
I'm so sad.
One of the
Yes.
biggest things is that we're getting 6-man patrols on the Awoken City.
Yeah, that's dope.
That's
real
man
dope.
patrols
I
is
didn't know that.
happening.
So you're gonna have 6-man patrols. You're gonna have 6-man crucible. You're gonna have 6-man raids. You're gonna there's a bunch of ways to keep your 6-man or your 5-man or your 4-man fire team together.
Does that open up for 6-man escalation protocol in the?
There is an
Awoken City?
escalation protocol in the Awoken City, that type of thing where it's like the Well of Light or
6-man.
something like that. And yeah, you'll be able to have 6 people coming into these areas because it's an end game activity. The Awoken City. They did not say that 6-man patrol is going to happen in other areas, unfortunately, because that's all locked in the way it is. But this new zone, the Awoken City, is getting 6-man. You can queue in essentially with 6 people in your fire team.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's huge.
That's huge.
That is amazing.
That's
Yeah,
gonna be
it's a big deal.
The biggest failure to me of Escalation Protocol was that it was a 3-man activity. It's so much fun with more people. So now being able to go into the Awoken City with a 6-man fire team and do Escalation Protocol type things, do end game activities, like do stuff with like a big old fire team. That's huge. It's amazing. It's really fun.
Yeah.
It's a shame that we didn't hear that they're going to be opening it up to Mars. I mean, I was hoping that they would add that would be something that they were working towards. I mean, honestly, like maybe we still get to hear about it, but that's something that we brought up at the
I think
at the summit and we're huge about.
I think this is where they're laying the foundation for what we're going to be excited about as invested players. We take the time to be invested in the world and make it more of like a hobby. And hopefully that stuff then trickles down to the other environments and the other activities. Because we talked about this last week, I think, where they need things to evolve in the other planets. Like every season needs things to grow with it. Well, hopefully Forsaken lays down foundations for that, for them to do that in these other places. Right?
And the Dreaming City is supposed to be the size of Nessus, I believe it was. said.
Yeah.
Yes.
is-
Yeah, roughly the size of Nessus.
Good. And that's the city. That's like it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. This is where you're going to see people going into raids, which I assume is why they made it 6-man patrol, because that's where you go to get in the raid, right? The
Mhm.
Dreaming City. And then you have these escalation protocols that are going to be there, and it's a pretty substantially sized planet as well.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's going to be a
I'm excited.
specific spawn for the raid, or if you're just going to have like a spawn for the city. I mean, if it's the size of Nessus, there's probably multiple spawn locations around, right? Like multiple.
They said that vendors were going to move. We're always going to be in the same spot. Because like,
are they going to be on the map, or are they going to take them off the map?
You got to go find them and be like,
I
God
don't
damn it, I
know.
need to turn in my tokens.
yeah, I don't
Son
know.
of a bitch.
Because Petravenge is going to be there.
Where's Shax? Shax? Hello?
Petra's going to be one of the vendors, and she's not always going to be in the same spot every week. It's going to rotate
Cool.
and change. Yeah.
Like, Petra, where are my Baron bounties?
Yeah.
For love of God.
Like, is that going to be based on some kind of story hook, or is it going like, why is she moving around?
I'm not sure if they revealed that. They might
'Cause
have.
we know that that play space is going to change based on progress of the community in the raid, right?
Mhm.
So does that hook into that somehow?
That'd be awesome if it does. They're saying that the Awoken City is going to be like an evolving area, and they've talked about making evolving things before that have ultimately ended up being like the Infinite Forest. So hopefully it's something that really does feel alive and changes with us with our activities. Because I would love that.
Yes.
Yeah, they said a 3-week
That would be
cycle
amazing.
where it adjusts, so things change or I guess rotate on that cycle for the 3 weeks. So
That's cool.
yeah.
That sounds awesome. I mean, the idea of maybe possibly getting tower or social space raid LFG going. I mean, I understand raids are their stance on raids, and but if you're taking a look at what the community is doing out there, we're going to websites and we're looking for groups to play the raids. It'd be
Yes.
interesting
Yeah.
to see if they've actually made that so you can ready up at the Dreaming City and go and do a raid together.
Just stand by the door, like I'm ready, guys.
Mhm.
Like, you know, an emote that says, I want to play. And when you throw that emote up, it puts you on a roster. And then when 6 people have queued up in that roster, it automatically launches you into the raid. I mean,
That'd be cool.
think about it.
Mhm.
Like you put on the emote, you put on the raid emote, and then you put I'm in. And then that puts you on a wait list. And then as soon as it's full, it boop starts.
Yeah, that would be really cool. It's going to be really interesting seeing groups just in your circle walking through those doors into the raid.
Yes.
It's like, oh, there they go. It's going to be cool. It's all of this just helps us feel included in a world that is living and breathing, and we're a part of other Guardians' lives. And I really like this feel.
Mhm.
I like it.
Or-
Or it's like
you're-
vaulted glass where you can actually help people get in there.
Yeah.
Like you can,
Yeah.
like if you're just kind
I
of
love
wandering
that.
around and you see a group getting in, you could just, hey, I'll go stand on a plate and help these guys fend off. You know, like
I'll go
that's
sit
cool.
here. Yeah.
So the interesting thing is like you are sitting there, and if they don't have LFG groups in the raid, right? Like it's 6, you know, they just keep that, say they don't allow matchmaking for the raid. Sitting there and having never, you know, you don't have the friends to raid, or you don't, and just watching groups go in, and how you could just sit there and be like, you know, sad and watch
Yeah,
people
you
go
can, you
off.
can
to
see
have
the
fun.
community
Be
can
like,
be like,
"Have
sit in
fun,
front of the
guys."
door if you're down to raid.
Yeah, that's it.
There you go.
You know, like panhandlers, you could have like an emote where you sit there and you're like shaking, a pan, like a
Shaking a
like
can.
and then
I
somebody
wish
comes
to
up and goes,
raid-
"Come with me."
Go with me, peasant. I will show you the ways.
They said that the Dreaming City will not be accessible until you've completed the campaign. Also, all right, I believe.
So it'll
or the
take a good
story.
2 hours to get to the Dreaming City, you're saying?
You gotta slay the barons. The
If you
story's
take your time.
working.
You take your
The
time.
story is working differently to where it was before. Before we've had very linear stories in terms of where the campaign missions are.
Mhm.
This definitely seems like it's more. There's 8 barons. You gotta go kill them, but you can go kill them in any order.
Yeah,
So.
I think that's a cool
Yeah, that's
idea.
kind of fun.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love these barons. Like, I love that we're hunting these barons that have their own
Yeah.
personalities, their own reasoning, their own way of playing. Like, they're all totally different combatant-wise, the way that they act and the weapons they use. I'm excited.
These guys, the Forsaken in general, are going to be much more aggressive too. They're not going to be hiding behind cover. They're really much more about like outright aggression and bum rushing you and really coming after you.
Yeah. Did you guys
interesting.
read the lore on the in that article, and how
Yeah.
what I didn't realize is that the Scorn and these guys came about from being anti-machine. So
Yeah.
they resent the fact that all the Fallen are worshiping machine gods. They were worshiping servitors and all that, and they are completely anti-machines and want to kill the Fallen, and like anybody who's in front of them that are worshiping machines are related with it. Yeah.
Can I mention the Hangman? Because he's super sadistic with this. He
Yeah.
hates machines to where he tortures servitors. He tortures servitors and pulls their ether out of them with his hands.
Good.
Like,
Yeah.
he's a crazy guy.
It's crazy.
I'm really excited about the Barons.
Sounds
I hope
like my
I
kinda
hope
guy.
we have some cool weapons and armor that looks like these Barons that we can get after we kill them.
Hmm.
If we don't, I'm gonna be super sad.
Mhm.
Hey, the Machinist, wasn't that the guy that was hanging out outside the Wrath of the Machine? Wasn't there a
No.
Machinist? One of the Siva Fallen, wasn't he called the Machinist?
Oh. I know who you're talking about. I
Hmm.
wonder if that's like, and then they've been captured and then put into prison by Cade, and and I wonder. That's interesting. You know what I'm curious about? I'm curious because they, in one of the interviews, they talked about how there's going to be selectable strikes.
Yep.
Yeah.
you
So
can-
there's no longer a strike playlist. You can go there and select if you don't want to
Well, no,
play.
there's
no longer.
there's still a strike
there's still gonna be
playlist. Yes.
There's,
Yeah.
but you can go and select your own strikes.
You can specifically play a
Does
strike.
that mean strike specific loot is coming and you
It
can
better.
play which one
Like,
you want?
why else would you
what I'm
want that,
thinking.
right?
Right.
Also,
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
I'm hoping that you can select the difficulty by going to the map, right? Go into the map,
Yes.
select the strike, and also select the difficulty.
And I'm wondering if hear me out. I don't know if this is totally off base, but what if we had that? So the barons, right?
Mhm.
How many are there total?
8.
8.
I wonder if every baron is the boss of a strike.
I was wondering about that. That would be a lot of strikes, and
That would be
Right.
a
I
lot
would
of
be
strikes.
excited about that.
But is that a lot of content is that too much to expect, or bait? Because
I don't
strikes,
We've
think
never
they're
gotten
gonna be
8 before.
I know.
I think it's going to be closer to, when we were doing House of Wolves and we were hunting barons then, I think it's going to be closer to that / maybe adventure type mission where you go to Petra, I would assume, or I don't know who gives it to you. I don't freaking know. But you have like wanted bounties and then you have to go and hunt the baron. It gives you an idea of where to find the baron.
Mhm.
That'd be cool. Or it's
hunt
not, or maybe there's like a bounty at like 3 bounties a week too, so you can go hunt them again.
That'd be cool. Grind their gear. I want to get.
That's cool, yeah.
I want to get
Yeah.
You know what I want? I want a sparrow that looks like the rider's pike.
Yeah, right.
That's what I want.
Apparently, they've confirmed that it's 3 strikes and 4 for PlayStation. So we're getting
I want
like,
one of those swingy
That's
urn
about right.
things.
yeah.
Hell yeah. I want that.
We're bashing people in the
Strikes.
crucible with an urn.
Kusi Rugama thing from Neo.
something that
Okay.
something that I thought was interesting is that during an interview they talked about how there would be 10, maybe 14 new exotics.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yes.
And they said weapons.
Weapons. And
Yes.
then
They did.
they didn't really get into armor. I didn't really see them say armor. Do we know how many exotic armor pieces or like anything about armor?
Not too much.
I don't recall hearing about exotic armor. They definitely mentioned
Okay.
weapons, but yeah, I don't.
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah, I saw them
armor.
say weapons, and they kind of like skated over the armor piece when they didn't talk about that and
Yeah.
when asked. Yeah,
Interesting.
Yeah. Really interesting stuff.
I feel like 15 new exotics, with our exotics being looked at, right, and continuing to be refreshed, the current ones we have now, we might see some variation in gameplay now that I feel like the game desperately needed.
Hmm.
That actually plays into what they're doing with mods. So
Right.
the design
I want to
philosophy.
hear about this.
The design philosophy that they have behind mods now and what they're going to do is they're not just going to give you that +5. Oh, I get +5 power.
Mhm.
Ooh, so exciting. They're actually going to pick your mods based on doubling down on a playstyle that you enjoy. So they specifically mentioned in-air accuracy. So we're getting an in-air accuracy mod.
Mhm.
Hip fire mod. They also
Mhm.
mentioned a damage to vehicles mod. So maybe you want to have
Yeah.
like a fully
Oh.
kitted out damage to vehicles mod set when you're fighting the rider. Like maybe that's something that you need to
It's
do.
definitely interesting.
So
Okay.
instead of just being like, oh yeah, just get mods to make you more powerful. This is how do you like to play the game? Okay, you mod your weapon and your armor like that. So I really like that. That design philosophy is what I've always wanted mods to be, where it's just doubling down on your playstyle. I think that's what it always should have been.
Yep.
Crafting people's way of how they like to play the game.
Cool. Did they get into any more detail about mods?
They said there's going to be less of them, but they're going to be more towards, just like I said, the play
More.
style.
More like a
Yeah.
perk system than anything else?
So we know like hip fire accuracy and in-air accuracy. We know those are 2 of them. Did they say a third one? Can't remember. Obviously, there's going to be some that are discovered. Oh, they also said that you're going to, when you break down armor, you're going to be able to get the mod back as well. So if you apply the mod, you don't have to worry about losing it, apparently. You will be able to pull it back out. So
That's kind of nice.
yeah.
So maybe they're going to be harder to find then. You're going to have to maybe grind for the mod you want, which would be awesome.
Like Catalyst difficulty
Yeah.
type of thing. Yeah. Oh yeah, vehicle damage. Yeah. Yep. So they said less, but more specific to the style. So I think that's good. I'm a little
less
disappointed.
mods, but more impact on your playstyle.
Yeah. I'm a little disappointed that it's not going to be like game changing in PvE to where you can really make a crazy mod loadout for a weapon. And again, I think of that like Warframe, because Warframe does an amazing job with the mod system like that. But with random rolls coming back, it'll be interesting to see how these new mods play into the system.
And there's going to be new perks added as well to weapons and stuff like that.
Yep.
So hopefully with the mixture of mods being able to double down on your playstyle, random rolls, and new perks, maybe you can get more of that feeling of, I'm making a build to go and do this thing. I think that's why the mention of vehicle damage kind of excited me, because I was like, interesting. So you're going to want to be like, okay, I'm going to be fighting vehicles. So I'm going to make an armor set and perks that are going to be good for that.
Yeah, that's very fascinating.
I hope it's important. I hope it's important to make armor sets and choose weapons based on what you're doing. Hope so.
They do kind of outline how the the campaign will go. Is basically you're going to get into the campaign and like see the death of Cade, and then you'll be sent out to hunt 6 of the barons, kind of like in any order you want, and then you'll be brought into a more linear thing for the end of the campaign.
Okay,
which is kind of interesting. So you'll actually kind of like the middle of the campaign will be kind of open to however you want to approach it, and then it'll siphon back into when you actually go after Aldrin.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed that it sounds like we're killing Aldrin, right at the end of the campaign. I mean, sounds like
it does sound like it. A lot of people are
be disappointed
doing a lot of speculation that there's some pretty big Taken influence going on here.
Sure. Oh, one of them. Yeah, like one of the barons is in with the hive, controls the hive.
Yeah. One of the barons
like even has his own kind of, what is it called, throne world.
Yeah.
And also there's a picture of Aldrin that he kind of looks Takenified.
Really?
So we're gonna
interesting.
Think we might fight a Taken Aldrin?
I don't know.
Interesting.
You know what? Even if that guy turns out to be, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything that any storyline or story arc where I forgive the guy.
No.
Yeah. The thing is, I would like to kill him in a raid.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want him to fall over like a worm god.
I hope he doesn't just be like, yeah, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, you killed Cade, dude. Come on. Like, I
don't think he's going to be the raid.
I want to feel like he's a powerful enemy, though, right? Because he stole one of our favorite characters and vanguards from us. I don't want it to be like, wow, Cade died to this.
I think he's going to be like Gaul, in that he's the story arc. He's the character that takes us through. I know you don't want that, but I think that that's what's going to happen. He's going to be the character that carries us through the story. And then
the story's going to happen on the Tangled Shore, right? But then the Dreaming City is kind of where the raid happens and the end game happens. I think that's really going to be kind of separate.
Can we challenge him to like an old Western style, like
10 paces back to back?
Can we do that?
And then turn around and fire?
Yeah. I want to do that.
I mean,
I might be more satisfied with that.
I'm using a mouse and keyboard. Whip around 180.
Maybe it's like a rhythm game where you have to press the right buttons.
DDR.
That's it.
Oh, I hate those. Like a quick time. I hate those. Oh my god! Remember killing Zeus in God of War? Oh god, that was so hard. They talked a little bit about weapons and the weapon slots. Obviously, we already know a lot about this, but there's some clarification here. Things like Hawthorne's Field Forged shotgun is now a kinetic weapon. The main ingredient is now in the energy slot. So weapons that you already have are getting reassigned to different slots, and we'll use a different ammo type.
Yes.
Which is pretty interesting. So some people were speculating that like a gun like Hawthorne's could be put in any of the slots. It's not going to work like that. Every weapon's going to have a specific slot still, but you'll be able to have shotguns in the kinetic, shotguns in the energy, and shotguns in power.
Yeah, basically things that are staying in the power were linear fusion rifles, rockets, play the game style grenade launchers, swords.
Yeah,
Acris too, right? Did they say Acris was staying there?
Yeah, I think
pretty sure, right? Yeah, because it's so powerful.
Yeah.
It should be.
Yeah.
If it's not, it should be.
But what's going to be interesting is being able to run 2 shotguns like that, or actually 3 shotguns with Acris being one of them.
And they're deleting the colony. It's like
They decided, we're just gonna
There's
start.
no way. That would instantaneously half the internet, half the Destiny population's KD will drop like one.
Half of the Destiny population goes, hooray! And half
And the other half
population
like,
goes, no!
Where do you,
Maybe we use it in the final fight against Aldrin, and he breaks it in
Yeah.
half before we kill him.
guys,
That'd be great.
where do you think Boob Cannon is going to land?
Energy.
It has to be powered, right? No,
It's gotta be
Pretty
powered.
powerful.
it has to be.
I think they change it a little bit, and it's an energy, like you use it to neutralize other energy shields.
Oh my god, I don't want it to change. I was
Nerf
just using it today
the
in
boop?
the. Yeah, I was just using it today in the Crucible, man, and I was just giggling my ass off the entire time. Like being able to, like having that like throwback effect doesn't necessarily kill everybody. It sounds like it's a downside, right? Like the Acreus would have just killed that guy and you'd be moving on. But instead, you're watching this guy fly away and fall off that cliff.
Yeah.
And you can just imagine that like panic. Like,
Panic
no,
in
I
his
can't
eyes.
drop. I was in my super.
Yeah,
It is entirely too much fun.
I think it's got to
It is
stay power.
My favorite weapon.
It
right
has
now.
to stay in power so it can still be powerful and exotic.
And-
Otherwise, I feel like it might lose some of its
If,
charm.
yeah, if you
I mean,
could,
how
if
do
you
you
could run
plan
around
a-
with an energy weapon that cancels out supers at any time, that's
Yeah.
way too powerful. Yeah.
Let's also say that it's a little hard to plan a boss fight around
Boob Cannon.
Boop Cannon.
Yeah, I was thinking
Yeah.
about this because, like, if it stays in power, Big Mood is moving to energy, which means that you'll be able to boop and then switch to the Icalo Shoddy and finish that. But it doesn't mean that you'll be able to boop and then switch to your Tarantula or Dead Ender, which comes from Dead Orbit. I'm so sorry. So sorry. I even used that weapon. Good God. You won't be able to do that. I was thinking about that. It would be really cool to be able to like boop and then switch to linear. Well, actually, you'd be up close. It makes more sense for it to stay in the power and then use the shotgun to switch to.
Yeah,
Um,
it's going to be a lethal combination.
It is, yeah.
Tefty, you mentioned before that Tickle Shore is, a full-size destination about the size of Nessus.
Mhm.
So is the Dreaming City. Like both of those are basically the size of Nessus.
No, I said Dreaming City was the
Oh, okay.
was necessized.
Well, you said
And
Dreaming
isn't
City. Well,
Tangled
so is
Shore
Tangled
supposed to
Shore.
isn't it supposed to be bigger than?
That's
Uh,
huge.
It says full-size destination about the size of Nessus.
So both of them are the size of Nessus?
Mhm.
Awesome.
Not together, combined. Both of them
Separate,
individually.
yeah.
So, yeah.
I didn't realize that. I
Yeah.
thought Tangled Shore was kind of smaller.
That's really big.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are some big places.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
that's some meaty content right there.
That's meaty.
Meaty.
Mhm.
The level cap is now going to be 50. The power cap is going to be 600. I think we knew that. We knew 600. I don't know if we
Yes.
knew
We
50.
definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it says for Forsaken. And what we didn't know is if it was going to be throughout the whole year they would start raising it, or if it was going to be, this release. So I'm assuming this release we're hitting 600.
Over time, new missions and secrets will reveal themselves. Enemy configurations and power levels change. The Taken Curse takes a greater hold. So secrets. Secrets.
Taken curse. Mm.
Yes.
Can I just be like in my postmaster and just get taken randomly, and then I'm like, God damn,
The Taken.
I gotta go. Here we go again.
So much
We
stuff.
have
What
5
are-
minutes, by the way, before
Secrets.
spoilers are over.
All
so
right.
let's make sure we get.
I'm
some
reading
good
through.
stuff.
I'm on a Reddit thread that just has like a list of all the stuff.
Okay.
And I'm trying to like pick out the.
Cherry pick.
Yeah, I'm trying to cherry pick.
Yeah, it's good stuff. All this makes me very excited for Forsaken. I read this stuff
Yeah.
and I'm like, good God, can it be September 4th already? No, wait, I want to enjoy my summer, but man, I want to play Forsaken. This is tough.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah. Oh,
It is very exciting.
they did talk about the supers too, so we know what the super's going to do. I don't think we should go through each one. We don't have time to go through each one.
We don't have. I wish we could, because they from speaking with the guys at the summit. I mean, they're going to be gorgeous. Can we talk about in general?
This isn't going to be the last podcast we do before Forsaken comes out either.
For sure. But like in general,
Yeah, we're
like,
taking a break until Forsaken comes out.
What are we seeing with the supers in general?
We're going to hibernation.
They look cool.
Supers look good.
They look fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to tell you guys, the Warlock, and I know we talked about this before. I got to just reiterate it because I'm making sure that the NDA was off. But the Warlock support super, man, it is really good. It is really satisfying as a support player to play that Warlock.
That's when you'll be able to hold a grenade and then chuck it as a healing vessel. Right?
Yeah, and it also can be picked up as well. It falls on the ground, and then a teammate can run over and pick it up. It's
really,
there's some really cool aspects of it that I mean, can you imagine somebody sitting in your rift, and then I talked about this the strategy for Gambit, nailing somebody as they're running for the portal to go attack the other team, and giving them an overshield and a boost to their abilities as they go and they fight the other team, and then they get there and they already have a shield. It puts support players in especially in Gambit, where you put your support player around the bank.
Mm-hmm.
And have them, float around the bank and protect the people that are coming in to drop off, drop off the what are they called? The
moats.
The money, the moats at the bank. But when it comes down to burning the bosses that come up, you can drop your rift and have everybody heal up, and it's fairly large size. You put down your super, and everybody's abilities get jacked up. And you can burn down that boss fairly quickly. It becomes
when I read through
a rallying cry for it.
When I read through all the descriptions of the new supers and even adjustments to the other stuff, is what I'm seeing is stuff that looks really powerful and looks like it's game changing, and it looks new. A lot of the supers, even though they were new supers in Destiny 2, technically. They like the pole dancer, for instance, felt a lot like being a blade dancer, right? Except not as fast.
Nerfed.
Right? Like
nerfed dancer.
Yeah, nerfed blade dancer. This stuff that I'm looking at, it feels new. It feels exciting. I can't wait to experiment with it and see how it affects the gameplay.
Getting headshots, going invisible, and getting wall hacks.
Yeah. That's going to be interesting.
I got to tell you, with only a little bit of time on the game at the summit, Watts, you were already an animal. So I hate to see you with some time under your belt playing as your void super. You're going to be you're going to be scared.
And the smoke's going to do damage.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
smoke's going to do damage.
You don't understand. Like, I'm going to watch Watts's channel just to see the screams and tears of her enemies. It's going to be
well,
great.
I mean, that's a good one to talk about, because the Night Stalker Way of the Wraith, right? It's going to be the third attunement for the Night Stalker, right?
We are just about up on spoilers, by the way.
I know.
All right, your melee smoke bomb heavily damages and
it's over.
slows
It's
those.
over. Nope. Stop. So done.
Stop. You can't say anything else.
It's 8 o'clock.
Twitter questions.
Yep.
It's really good, man. Like,
again, it just makes you
I'm
go,
just excited
I
for
can't
you.
wait for Forsaken. I want to
I
play
wish
it.
they had, like, I can understand that they need to sell the game again, right? It's like they've had a year of bad publicity, and they need to get out there and resell Destiny 2. They need to sell Forsaken, right?
They do.
It's just that it's too much information. Like, I understand why they want to put a lot of information out there, because they want to get people excited who maybe stepped away from Destiny 2 or heard bad publicity about Destiny 2 and didn't buy it at all. But man, if you're a fan of Destiny, like, this is some of the stuff that you really want to discover yourself. Especially, we didn't talk about the exotics at all, and I don't want to talk about the exotics at all.
I don't want to,
Yeah.
I don't think any of us need to know about new exotics.
That's one of those things that I just really, I understand, Tefty, that you philosophically, we want to cover the news, the information that's out there, and I really want to, like, delve into it. But there's that gamer part of me that just wants to be surprised.
Oh, yeah.
Have you looked into them?
A little bit, yeah. Because, I want to be knowledgeable on it, but at the same time, I'm not going to comb through it and try to break down every part, because I want to at least maintain some of that.
This is why I want to make YouTube videos covering the Game Informer article in a non-spoiler way. So if you're a player like me, where it's, you're okay finding out about Sandbox and some mods and some lore to get you excited, but you don't want to know about the exotics or the end game or the city or any of that, you can listen to the video and be like, okay, I got some news that got me excited, but I didn't spoil anything, because it's hard shifting through those articles and not being spoiled.
I'll tell you what, I learned going into Destiny 2 a bunch of lessons about making YouTube videos about this stuff. Is one, obviously don't put a spoiler as the thumbnail, right?
Definitely
it's like
not.
Clearly, I don't know if I ever fucked that up.
Like.
Don't put it as a title either.
No.
People do that.
Give people a clear
they do it all the
warning.
time. Yeah.
And give people a clear warning about what you're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Put it in the title.
Don't say you're going to talk about mods and then halfway through the video switch over and start talking about new exotics.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Have it specifically, this is the mods. So if you want to know about the mods that are coming, here you go. This is it. Nothing else is going to be there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited actually for this month, and we're going to talk about it later, and I know we're moving on. We have some new content creators that have come on in the Destiny community that are going to be new to our channel. And after we get back from GuardianCon, so I'm going to bring some fresh faces onto the podcast. I've been spending a lot of time on Twitch watching and scrolling through new streamers. And it's something that's been requested a lot from our audience, is to bring in people that are not the big names, right? And to bring in some people that are just growing their channels, but have a good community forming and have a good voice. So I'm really excited. But when we come back, we're going to have from GuardianCon, we're going to have some fun guests, and I'm going to try to keep that trend going. And it's great. I love the way content is being covered right now, because it feels like there's a lot of salt. A lot of the people who were really upset about D1, and for good reason, they were upset, right? And they've moved on, right? There's been a sea change. They've switched over to Fortnite or to Monster
Warmind
Hunter
was a big step. I mean, a lot of people who were playing Destiny or were not playing Destiny checked out Warmind. Warmind has a lot of stuff for players who love playing Destiny. There's still stuff to improve, and I think Forsaken's going to improve a lot of that stuff. But yeah, I think you're right. It's like, we're kind of waiting for that to happen. Hope is people who just didn't like Destiny anymore. We're kind of waiting for them to shut the fuck up and go away.
and a lot of them have, and I don't hold in. They're still good friends of ours, and they're carrying other content, and that's cool. But there's a whole crop of fresh faces. And last time I asked people, who do you watch? Who do you go to? Besides listing, of course, you guys, they went into a group of people that I had never heard of. Right. And I jumped into their streams and onto their YouTube channels, and I'm like, this is good stuff, man. This is what being positive about Destiny is about. And I'm excited to bring them onto the show and give them some, whatever platform we've been given an opportunity to shine. So
hey, got a lot of stuff I did this week.
Was it PC related? Oh, tell me more.
I deleted my processor.
Yikes!
On Air PC sent me a delitting kit, and we worked together to delid my Intel processor. Shaved like 15 to 20 degrees right off the temps.
God, it's
like right off the bat.
That is so beneficial for overclocks.
Yeah, it took like 20-30 minutes too.
Nice.
Not bad.
Were you nervous at all?
I was a little bit nervous. Luckily for me, I had a practice processor.
Okay, nice.
I had an Intel 6700K.
Okay.
That was from my old gaming PC. So I practiced on that. That took a little longer. That took like an hour, right? And then once I did that, I put it in the computer, made sure it was working. I took out the 8700K that's in my gaming PC, cracked it open, put the liquid metal in there, put it all back together, put it in the PC, man. Oh my God.
Whew.
Oh my God. It's like I got two options now. I can either just run the fans quieter.
Yeah.
Right? Because I just don't have that heat anymore.
Yep.
Or I can run the fans at the same rate and pump up that overclock.
Get that overclock going.
Get them frames going. So On Air PC is our sponsor for this episode. On Air PC is all about helping you get started in streaming, podcasting, or gaming. look, if you're a content creator, if you're a gamer and you're looking to build a new PC, this guy is fun to talk to. I talk to him all the time. We talk about dumb stuff like ripping apart your brand new processor to make it go take 15 degrees off of the temps, man. And he actually offers this service. You can have him do it for you, so you don't even have to do it yourself. There's tools and there's time investment involved in doing something like this, but he offers that service. So when you buy a PC, you can ask, hey, can you delete this thing so it doesn't have that crappy Intel thermal paste that for some reason they still put on there. You can give On Air PC a call, 330-850-1525, and get a brand new streaming, podcasting, or gaming PC.
Cool. Hell yeah.
Woohoo.
And they'll be down at GuardianCon building a PC.
Yeah.
Too.
Is he going to delete that one?
Oh, he promised me he would delete it.
He said he was going to do it. He was going to delete it with his hands, with a blindfold on, right?
I think he said that he's going to make Tefty do it.
Yeah.
He's going to actually instruct
Somebody be
Tefty
like-
how to do it. It's going to be
Right
great.
now he's
How much
thinking,
pressure do I
fuck,
put
I
on
was
it?
going to use an AMD. No, I don't know if he's going to delete it. I just like to make shit up and see
Nice.
what he says about it. I don't know
It's
if
gonna
he's
be fun.
using an
They're gonna
AMD
be,
or an Intel processor to build that.
They're going to be sharing our booth there. So obviously booth number 7, we've got a great spot over by the Buffalo Wild Wings.
I hope
You're
we're like kind of reach over adjacent.
Reach over.
Oh, yeah.
Wings, like
no,
Oh,
we're
that'd
just
be
going to
great.
be able
hey,
to
I'm
reach over
signing
and
some
grab a
autographs.
wing.
I mean, wing. You got any beer over in that booth, Buffalo Wild Wings?
So we're gonna have a spot. We've actually had some great stuff going on. We have a spot where guests of the show and content creators are going to get a chance to come and hang out and talk to us. We're going to have a live stream going on there. They're going to get a chance to take a rest, take a breather. We have a little couch back there. It's going to be fun. They're going to stop by and they're going to sign posters. If you didn't get a chance to stop by their signing, or if there's too many people there, you didn't get a chance to have them sign the poster, they're going to be stopping by the booth and signing posters for you. We'll have the schedule up later. I'm just excited for this whole event. I think, if you are, we're also, offering a exclusive DCP shirt. This thing is going to be limited
It's
edition.
beautiful too.
I'm excited. Do we want to tell people what it is, or is it? I'm going to link it. I'm going to throw it out on the link after the show, but it's for you guys listening right now. It is 5, including Patrick, of the emotes. So our Patreon selected favorite emotes for our show. So it's obviously we've got the horn one for some reason. I don't know why. Watts is doing her heart, so that's the heart emo, and Tefty's always questioning why, and so he's got that one. And Briar is laughing, so he's got that one. And the emotes are going to be on the front of the shirt with GuardianCon 2018 on there, and we're excited to be offering them. So make sure to get to the booth early though, because I wasn't able to get more than 150 shirts. So, and there's going to be a lot
many
of
at
people
all.
there.
Wow, that's not many.
So this is
definitely
literally.
wanna get there early.
We're not.
Are we
gonna
gonna? Should we do 75 and 75 for 75 first days? Because some people come Saturday, but don't come Friday.
I'll split them. Yeah, but that's a good call. Yeah, we aren't going to be selling them anywhere else. So if you show up, make sure to come by and get them. All right. What else are we going to talk about? We got
Twitter
questions.
We got Twitter questions.
Let's do
All
it.
right. It's Axe says, aside from the Destiny community, other content creators and friends, do you ever play Destiny with family members?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the time.
No. Not even once. My kids briefly dabbled and they went right back to Minecraft.
Oh, damn.
My son likes to play Destiny, and initially I didn't play with him. He just farmed my Titans.
You hired him.
And I hired him. And later he convinced me to let him have his own account. And he and I raid now. We actually go and we do raids together, and it's fun.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I got a nephew who plays, and I give him tips, help him out. He's on Xbox, so yeah.
That's a rough one.
I play with my mom. She plays a lot.
I want to hear about your mom. Like, does she play when you're streaming?
That was the creepiest thing I heard all day.
It's not if you don't have a creepy mind.
Well,
now.
I want to hear more about your mom.
About your mother.
It's not creepy unless you say it like that.
If we were playing Call of Duty, we could have told you about your mom.
Yeah.
And where she was last night, you know? That's great. Anyway, so I hear she plays. I didn't know if you guys played on stream together.
No, she's 8 hours ahead of me, so usually when I'm getting on stream, she's like going to bed. But I've done nightfalls with her and stuff like that. So yeah, but when she's visiting me, which she'll be coming for Christmas, she will be playing on stream.
That's cool.
Nice.
I want to check it out.
One of the reasons I started doing YouTube and later streaming was because, like, growing up, my circle of friends who I love dearly didn't play video games. And my family doesn't really play video games. So video games were always a very solitary experience for me. I got a couple of friends might come over and play Street Fighter, but it was like very, very few. Like in college, there were more people that played video games. So like the Destiny community has kind of been like an amazing thing for me. Cosmic says, how confident are you that Forsaken will live up to its expectations? I think it's going to be better and more substantial than what Taken King was to Destiny 1.
After you read that article, you're like, yeah, this is looking good.
Honestly, even if every part of it is absolute trash besides Gambit is so amazing that it has the opportunity to completely change how we play Destiny.
I'm probably going to be sitting in the Gambit playlist like
same
all the time. I had so much fun. It scratches that itch for PvP, and it allows me as a player that's not super good at PvP to mix it up with my friends that are, and it's fun. It really is. We'll be playing at a GuardianCon.
Yeah.
Are we having a tournament?
We're going to be having a tournament, and
not Briar and I.
No, I think we should have like a podcast throwdown.
We are going to be having a tournament, you guys.
A DCP one?
Oh no, I'm excited about it. This is an exclusive.
I don't know about this.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. So let me tell you guys, we're going to be announcing it. I'm talking about it tonight, but we are doing a tournament with Farcog, and their group is going to be putting it on, and we're going to be participating in it. But Scuff Gaming is going to be doing a 1v1 me, bro. How many times have you heard that among content creators, and everybody kind of laughs it off? Well, they're going to be mixing up content creators and hardcore PvP players into this tournament that is going to be held throughout the 2 days at GuardianCon at their booth. And the prize is pretty awesome. The winner will get a, we talk about a custom controller, but they're not going to be given a custom controller. They are going to be given a custom controller, but it's going to be one of their design that is going to be available on Scuff's website. So, right now you see the Professor Broman Scuff, and you see the King Cathalian Scuff, and you see Optic Gaming Scuff. Well, you'll be able to see yours there. And so people will be able to purchase it. And I'm excited. I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to want to step up and play this. We're going to be doing some like pre-interviews of the contestants at our booth, talking to them about, maybe some little trash talking before they go up to do a 1v1.
I'm just wondering how I'm going to hide my
Zim adapter.
Zim adapter. Like, how am I going to work that?
So the thing is, it's not going to be on. Obviously, it's at the Scuff Gaming. It's going to be highlighting their new controllers, and it's going to be played on PC, but there will be Scuff controllers connected to them. So you will be playing on controller, and it is going to be sweaty.
Yeah.
We are all in it, by the way.
Nice.
We are?
Yes.
Oh, great.
Briar's gonna be looking at the ladder going, all right.
I'm gonna be like looking at the controller like, how do I use this again? Mad Geek says, which reward is more satisfying? A valuable determinant item obtained after a long determinate grind, or an equally valuable random item, randomly but very rarely dropped while doing something one normally does.
Ooh.
I think they both have their places.
Yeah, I
don't think they're mutually
They're
exclusive.
both very, very rewarding.
Yeah, exactly. Like
You see that thing drop that none of your friends have, and you're like, oh my God, it happened.
Mhm.
That's amazing. Having a very long kind of bounty or mission that you have to do to get this thing that's hard to get, that's also super rewarding.
Yep.
I got equally as excited in year one of Destiny 1 when I got the Thorn and when I got the Hawkmoon. And they were both completely different ways of getting them. But I was equally excited about both of them. I was actually possibly more excited for the Hawkmoon just because it just like appeared out of thin air at the end of an Iron Banner match one day. I was like,
Yeah.
Hawkmoon is yours.
Yeah, I think they both have value. Just as I see buying something from a vendor has value too. You've worked to get the elements to purchase it, like the faction. You know, there's some. It's not as exciting, but there are different levels of that, and they are rewarding to have that grind where you are, building up whatever you need to go buy it. It doesn't have that wow factor and excitement, but it is satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
Hawkeye says, if you could choose to leave the Vanguard and serve the Queen instead, would you?
How does she feel about her brother?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Queen at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure.
As it is right now, I'd say I'd stay with the Vanguard. I'd stay with Future War Cult.
Yeah.
I think I hear I'm gonna take a leap here. I'm gonna say the Queen, who sacrificed herself to, with that magical spell. Now, she didn't die, obviously, but she gave up a lot of her power, like to take down, our enemy.
Big ass Nova Bomb.
Yeah.
She was a badass. I'm thinking I'm gonna ally myself with her.
Can I align myself with Patra? Because she's, I kind of like Patra. She's a badass. She's got an eye patch. She's got a knife. She twirls it.
Mm-hmm.
I like eye patches.
Yeah.
She's got a cool ass cape.
They're edgy, aren't they? Eye patches are edgy.
The Vanguard got a lot less cool when Cade died, too.
That's true.
True.
Ikor's a badass, but, I haven't seen her in the Crucible. I don't know how good she is. I hear about it, but I have not seen her fighting.
All right.
Atlas New York City says, I don't know if you're doing Destiny 2 questions, but seeing as how the campaign is apparently only complete after we kill all 8 Barons, do you think the fights will be underwhelming? I hope not.
It concerns me for sure. Because
without discussing any spoilers of the article, it concerns me.
Well, it also concerns me that I hope that they have given us an opportunity to set a difficulty level.
I hope so.
I mean,
that'd be nice.
I really want to play the campaign, whatever it is, at a hard setting. I really want to be challenged.
Especially as these guys are, the most badass dudes and ladies in the universe who were captured and put into a prison.
By Cade.
Yeah, and I want them to be none of those are spoilers.
Yeah.
And I want those fights to be epic. I don't want to just roll up and be like, "Sup, Lady Baron, lady."
Boop cannon.
You're boop.
Nova
Piccolo
shotgun
you're dead.
Adios. I mean, at least one of them seems cool in that I'm not going to go into it spoilers, but we'll see.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if it'd be nice if you could farm them for stuff. Like,
that'd be real cool.
If they're going to make it easy or not exactly like a real pain in the ass to kill these things, it'd be cool if they have some rare drops to them that could be farmed. Because 8 Barons just screams like rare stuff that only drop randomly.
So you have to be totally down with that. Yeah, if it's not difficult, but they just have a rare drop rate of something super cool. Yeah.
What were those bosses in? It was the Taken King that were like, they're kind of world bosses. They would hang around.
During the Taken War?
They were relatively difficult if you were taking them on solo.
Yeah, during the Taken War on the public events.
Yeah. Yeah, those were cool.
Mhm.
That was a good amount of difficulty.
I'd say so, yeah.
But I also want the fights to feel different from Baron to Baron, right?
Yeah.
And it looks like we're gonna get that.
It does,
Yeah.
kind of. Alex Quayle says, "What will it take this year to get Pope Bear to eat Taco Bell?" Why are people so obsessed with you eating Taco Bell?
Yeah, Pope.
Because he says he doesn't like eating Taco Bell.
I think
If
he's
he was
lying.
just, if
Watts,
he
I
was
think
just
he's
like,
lying.
you think
Here
so?
it is. Here it
Yeah,
is.
I think he actually loves eating Taco Bell,
Were you
But
just
it's like-
eating Taco Bell before you got on the podcast tonight?
right? I think I see a piece of chalupa in his beard.
It's probably still there from last time I had Taco Bell, because I can
That could
tell
be.
you, the last time I had it, it was when I was forced to eat it.
You know what?
The
I
last
got
time I
it.
watched
Here's
you
why.
eat it, you rubbed it all over your face like
Yeah.
you were in love with it.
Here's why Pope has a disdain towards Taco Bell, because he goes there, he orders the bell, and he smears it on his face, and he gets kicked out every single time because he smears it on his face. So the
That's the only way to
disdain
eat it.
has grown deep
They reject me every time.
every time, man.
They call the police on me, and they say I shouldn't be doing that with my food. But
Mhm.
where else do you put it? You know, sometimes it needs to be in your shorts, and
Sometimes you need to exfoliate with a little Bel Grande,
sometimes
whatever
you
the
need to
hell.
rub a chalupa in places you shouldn't rub a
Is
chalupa.
that a burrito in your pocket?
Yes,
Yeah, it
it
is.
is.
It's the double XL grilled stuffed.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So here's my thing with Taco Bell, and I hate to say this, I just feel like, I mean, what makes me mad? It makes me mad on like a social level, that this is a lot of like times, a lot of people, like when they're struggling money wise, that's what is affordable, right? And that's what sucks, is that people that, you know,
So you're
don't
blaming
have
you're blaming Taco Bell for being affordable.
no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm
He's
saying that
backing
their
up-
option.
He's backing up the lashing that he's about to give about the quality of the food.
Yeah, it's more of like a general commentary. Like it's sad that that's what people eat. It's not good for you. It's really not. And
But it could be good for the kids.
if it's good for the kids, yes.
Yeah.
So apparently there's going to be some sort of incentive on the podcast on Sunday where if we reach a certain goal, Patrick
On
and
the
I
GuardianCon.
will the GuardianCon stream on Sunday. Patrick and I will have some sort of Taco Bell eating contest.
Yeah. I don't know if
you know,
Patrick
I
knows
don't-
about this yet.
He doesn't know about it yet, but I definitely will.
I'm sure he'll be fine with it. Probably.
I'll do my part. I don't know if there's a Guinness Book of World's Record for Taco Bell eating, but we're definitely going to try to challenge it.
Yikes.
I'll look that up.
And if it's not, if there isn't one, we're going to contact Guinness and try to get them to be there. This will be good.
Singy says, "Is there a flavor of ice cream that you didn't like when you were younger that you like now, or vice versa?"
Of ice cream?
Yeah.
I think I
used
only.
to love bubblegum. I can't stand it now.
Ooh.
Yeah. Super sugary things
Yeah.
in general, I loved when I was a kid, but like I can't even stomach them now. Like if I drink more than one Coca-Cola or any soda that has sugar in it, I get an upset stomach. In fact, I don't even like eating sugar, period.
I think I just had super basic ice cream when I was a kid. You know, vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, and I was
And you
like,
stuck that chip
this
in
is
it.
the flakes. Flakes are
Yeah, the
delicious.
flakes,
is that
sorry.
thing?
The flakes
It's
look
chocolate.
amazing.
It
I had
is
no idea about
delicious.
this.
It doesn't look like
crumbly,
it's not a
beautiful
flake.
chocolate.
It's like a
It's called flake because it flakes. Like as you eat it, it flakes.
Okay, I'm going to be
off
perfectly honest.
in a
I have
delicious.
never been to an ice cream shop that has offered one of those.
I agree.
It's delicious.
I'm jealous.
If you go to England, you will.
Exactly.
That's-
I'm jealous
okay.
that it is not here in America in the normal
It should be.
It should be.
general
Yeah.
ice cream eating experience, because I saw that and I was
You
like,
can
I want a flake in my
probably-
ice cream.
I thought you were going to say among normal people, like the people from England aren't normal. That
Well,
we just start a war.
you could probably go to some kind of store that has imported chocolate, get a flake, and stick it in your ice cream, and have that experience.
See,
Delicious.
I've visited some shops and I haven't seen that on the menu. That's why I was like, what?
I
A
bet I can
flake?
find it. I bet it's on Amazon. I bet I can order it.
Amazon shipping me ice cream. That sounds like I better be
flakes.
home when it shows up.
No, they pack it in like, ice.
I just Googled flake and all I got was a picture of Holtzman.
Got him.
Oh my gosh.
Man.
Zachary Richardson says, hello, everyone. If everybody in the podcast tonight were going to rob a bank, theoretically, which roles would you play? I could see Watts being the getaway driver, just like in the movie Baby Driver. What role would you be if you were in a
I would be
bank robbery?
the tech guy who's on a laptop with multiple screens doing stuff.
The tech guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got to have a technology guy who's like hooking up stuff and hacking things. And,
So wait, are you in the van outside, like
yeah, probably.
with the mic on?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
want to be the crazy person with a
Now,
mask
the tech
that just
guy.
like, goes in and threatens people.
You
Licks
want to be the
knife.
Joker?
Yeah. I want to.
That licks the knife, like
intimidate
stabs
them.
her own arm, so there's
Yeah.
blood on it, and they're like,
Yeah.
You
I
wanna
wanna
make
do that. I want to go in with a mask, and then I'm just gonna take it off.
You want to
and
make a
just get
pencil
the knife.
disappear?
I'm telling you though, like I could see you doing that, Watts, like jumping up on the counter and just going, "All right, listen, everybody, shh.
If any of you motherfuckers move,
I'm gonna execute.
I'm gonna stab
everybody."
myself. Wait, no.
Man, I think I would be the tactician.
So literally everyone is in the van at the moment except for me.
not me. I want to be the safe cracker. I'm gonna have a stethoscope. I'll be like,
See, the thing is, we're not. If we're robbing this bank, we're not like stethoscoping anything. We've gone to the guy's house, the bank manager's house, and broken in, held him captive, right? Kidnapped him.
Kidnap his
so
wife.
Pope made this huge elaborate plan. Then we got to the bank. We didn't listen to any of it.
Yeah.
And then
I'm
we-
in the van.
Now we're all in
I'm
jail.
in the van opening doors and shutting down like security codes. And you guys are waltzing in,
I spent all this time putting together this plan, and nobody did.
Pope is halfway
I
across
won't pay
town in somebody else's house. It's probably the wrong
Like,
house.
i.e., the tactician.
It's crazy. We wouldn't have been caught if you just listened to me.
Nemo says, if you could change one thing in your life, what would it be? One thing.
One thing.
Just gonna go ahead and say it. I would be filthy fucking rich. Like
How would
serious.
what's the one thing
Fuck
though?
you,
How
money.
do you change that?
I
Put
would
more
have
money in the
billions
bank.
of dollars.
But how do you like? What is the decision that you made that kept you from that?
No.
See, this is just
Right,
a
is that
podcast
it?
question.
Zero.
There's no like, chain of like, well, this happened and now that happened. So good.
Yeah,
Now
that's not what the question is,
Yeah,
Pope.
now you
The
have to live
question
with
is,
it.
if I could change one thing in my life, I would change
Oh,
how
not
much
change.
money is in many bank accounts with my name on it.
Yeah.
That would actually fix a lot of the problems that I would like to solve in just life in general.
There you go.
So,
Right?
yeah.
A bottomless bank account. Easy.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Bottomless.
I'm paying for a year of St. Jude.
Boom.
You could play for like a billion years. You have a bottomless bank
Bottomless.
account.
Fuck it.
Bottomless.
I don't know.
I could get my mom a house.
I think
get my
I think
mom over
that
here
that
with
people
money.
put too much on money. I think
Okay.
money.
But that would
it-
fix a lot of the problems. Though.
Yeah, with no consequence.
I
No
honestly,
consequence.
I would. I know this is going to sound super lame, but I would want it to be that
Remember,
that we have eradicated.
hold
world
up.
hunger.
It has to be about your
What?
life.
No, one thing in your
It has
life.
to be about
Yeah,
your life.
I invented the thing that eradicated
Guess what?
world hunger.
With a bottomless pit of money, you could actually set up a lot of stuff to solve world
Yeah.
hunger.
Or you could just go jet skiing every day.
While you solve world
I-
hunger,
If we're talking about
You
something
pay somebody else to do
ridiculous,
that world hunger
you
thing.
could hire
If we're-
a fleet of professionals to solve that because of your bottomless bank account.
I'll be fucking Richard Branson it up with a fucking
Yeah.
sail and a fucking naked lady hanging off of me.
you know, I've seen too many people in my lifetime that have money, like in my family, that have just ruined themselves.
oh,
it's
I'm not
not-
gonna do that, man. I'm just gonna have fun.
Money changes, corrupts, kills people. You know, Hey, have you
Or
ever
we
thought
could
about
use it
like,
to
Pope,
save people.
the question wasn't, are you going to get super rich and then have to figure out how to hold on to it? It's you've changed something in your life permanently for the better. There.
Filthy, stinky rich.
I have changed that. I am now like able to, tap into 100% of my brain power so I can figure out how to solve problems.
Nice.
I'm gonna buy the whole neighborhood. I'm gonna mow down all the houses and build a racetrack and have 8 Lamborghinis. Invite all my friends over to race the Lamborghini.
Man, Rich
Pryor. Saturday is Lamborghini day. Sunday is Porsche day.
Rich Pryor sounds really fun, man.
Yeah,
Right?
he sounds great.
You guys can come over and race Lamborghinis with me. It'll be fun. Free
I would
beers,
come
too.
over and race Lamborghinis. All right. Fair enough.
I lost my track. Okay,
I guess
Reverend,
Go ahead.
Reverend Jimmy Love. You just knew rich people who were boring. That's the problem. Reverend Jimmy Love says, "What's the best cut and seasoning for French fries?"
That's a tough
Fresh
one. I'm
cut
not
and
very
seasoning for French
I'm not
fries?
very versed in the style and like the variations. Like I know there's curly, there's thick cut. Nori? What's nori?
Wait, we're doing seasoning, right?
Yeah.
Okay, nori. If you go to, there's a place here called Katsu Burger. It is a Japanese style deep fried burger. Amazing. You can get fries with different types of seasoning, and one of them is nori, which is the seaweed flavor. If you get that, and then you get the spicy sauce and dip
You
it in
lost
there.
me so fast.
No,
Yeah.
it is delicious.
You stopped me at
You
mayonnaise.
must not like
There was no mayonnaise in that description anywhere.
You can actually get Japanese mayo, which is the better mayo.
It is. Japanese mayo is definitely better. Yeah, I'm not a fan of seaweed that much. Sorry,
Yeah.
Watts.
You can get wasabi flavor.
I don't even like it when it touches me when I'm swimming. Like it really freaks me out.
So rubbery.
You can get Japanese spicy mayo.
All right. My favorite, my vote is for the waffle fries, the crisp cut, waffle fries. I like that you can dip them in, and they're like big, they're like a potato chip. You dip them into something, and it sticks the sauce sticks to them. And then the seasoning would have to be something with a little bit of bite to it. Something with a little paprika in it.
I like them long and straight and fat enough to hold a lot of ketchup.
And
Sounds
this
good
is
too.
where our problems came in.
Yes,
Pepsi
now
just
we
wants
understand so much
Briar just wants,
about you,
he
Briar.
wants ketchup.
That French fry is merely a ketchup delivery device.
See,
It has no actual value of its own.
I disagree. I disagree with that. Yeah, because if you have a
Do you want to come and play in the Lamborghini? You want to race the Lamborghini?
Okay, you're right. You're right, Briar.
Get on Team French
I
100%.
Fries.
love French fries and
Lambo bumper cars. Let's have it.
Briar, with his wads of cash, has developed a tortilla chip style potato chip style French fry.
Yeah.
Where he can just scoop up mass amounts of ketchup.
We seriously need to play like Dungeons and Dragons together. I think this would be.
I think that would be fun.
Group.
That would be really funny.
No, I do not want to help you move says, why do people get mad when you tell them you don't want to help them move? Like, I didn't tell you to buy all that shit, and now you have to move it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever read a question that I so wholeheartedly agreed with in my entire life. I wish the custom was, instead of people like, coming over and helping you move and you feed them pizza, I wish, you said to a friend, hey, I'm moving on Saturday. The custom was, here's $50 for your movers. I'll be over for pizza and beer afterward.
Yeah. If you hate moving, why would you want to inflict that on your friends and family? That just seems mean.
I just hire people. I can't
Yeah,
I can't get myself to. There's that one guy that has a truck, and for sure
I was that dude
gets
for like
just-
13 years. I had a truck for like 13 years.
It's the worst, man.
Everybody wants help moving.
Yeah. What are you doing this weekend? And they're like,
I don't know why. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Yeah,
Landon McBlanderson. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say I hired people to help move last time, and I was very happy about it. In fact, I felt there was moments where I was like, maybe I should be doing something. And I was like, wait a minute, no, I hired these guys. I'm just gonna waltz in and like casually drink some water.
Like survivor's guilt to move it.
Yeah,
like You're like watching these guys like sweating it out, moving your furniture, and like, fuck it.
Part of me was like, I should pick up a box right now. And the other part of me was like, no, I should just watch.
I could pull a muscle.
I'm not a young whippersnapper like these men. No.
Blaney McBlanderson says, you're having pancakes and eggs for breakfast. You get a little exuberant while pouring syrup on your pancakes, and it runs off and mixes with the eggs. Those eggs belong A, in your belly because that's delicious, or B, in the trash because that's disgusting.
Oh, no, I'm eating it.
Yeah, I'm definitely eating it.
I'm definitely eating it.
They're in the trash.
They are.
What?
They are delicious eggs. They have been blessed by the maple syrup.
Those eggs have now
been blessed by the Lord of Canada.
Canada has come down and sprinkled blessings all over your eggs. Eat it up.
Definitely in my belly.
the only thing those eggs have
moose
become.
with a Halo, just like Halo looking down upon you.
Halo Ghost Moose comes in with like, yeah.
Those eggs have become a wall, essentially, a barrier to hold back future incursions of the syrup, and then I separate the untainted eggs over, and I eat those. Or yeah,
but aren't you?
I don't.
Pope, I'm gonna blow your mind. All right,
No,
when you eat the pancake with the maple syrup, goes in, and then you eat the egg. At some point in your stomach, they touch. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to blow your mind right now.
No, they don't. They don't. There's a spot in my stomach for pancakes or waffles because I'm not even touching them.
You're like a cow
Oh
with
my
like
gosh.
4 separate stomachs.
And then I've got another stomach here for the eggs. They go into separate places, Stefty.
Is that what you
Kinda
did
like a
with your
hamster.
wish about changing one thing about your life?
Yes. I have multiple stomachs. That's the truth.
Michael Turr says, favorite and least favorite music genre.
I know this one right off the bat.
Okay.
Least favorite, country. Cannot stand it. Country is like fingernails on a chalkboard to me. Favorite is like folk music. I love folk music.
A favorite's
I don't know what my least favorite.
favorite's
is.
really difficult for me because like I'm into so many different styles of music. But what I almost 100% never will want to listen to is really dark, screaming heavy metal. Like the voice,
Like death metal.
the
and
voice
stuff.
sounds like it's actually going to pop some blood coming out of it, and like I feel like I'm suddenly angry and need to go punch something. I can't get behind it. I know some people love it. There's nothing in me that makes me go, oh man, I can't wait to crack this death scream, whatever is going on music.
When I used to do, I think every Thursdays I'd like open up the playlist so anybody could suggest a song for the playlist and it would just play through. Like, you know, anybody on a Twitch stream could make, you know, put a song in there. The only time I would ever skip it was like that death metal, like really screamy metal. That was the only thing I couldn't listen to. But I'm kind of with you. Like, depending on my mood, I'll listen to anything.
Right?
I actually do like a lot of country. Like, there's some really good country music out there.
I draw the line at when it was created. So there's this invention of like pop country that really I feel changed the landscape of country. There's a lot of old school country that I really enjoy and I love. It has actually a lot of roots in like what I used to listen to. I used to listen to a lot of ska music and old country, Zydeco, you know, Southern blues. Those are all like genres that I really appreciate, and they all influenced ska and punk that I grew up with. But the pop country is what kills me, man. It's just like it's just like pop music. It's just in general,
Pop music sucks.
it's just so like formulaic, and it's
Yeah.
you know, it just there's no creativity in it. That's all.
Pop music doesn't bother me though. It just doesn't excite me.
I don't listen to so the only radio station that I listen to in my car is a radio station here in Seattle that plays all old school R&B and hip hop. That's all they play. So you're getting
Fun.
all
That
the like
sounds real fun.
the good stuff. Like when that music was at its best, that's all I listen to. So I don't even know what new music sounds like, honestly. That's the only thing I listen to. Go upside down.
That's the first sign of getting old, Watts. I'm sorry to break it to you.
Oh, it's been happening. for probably 20
These
years
kids
by
in
now.
this goddamn mumble rap.
Savers.
He's mumbling rappers. What is this?
Part of my job is to listen, like not part of my job, but a way that I've learned to connect with kids is to listen to music that they're listening to. So I ask a lot of kids like what they're listening to and I play it. So when I'm alone in my car, I play the music they're listening to. And it is like I try to appreciate it so that I can understand and talk to them. But like some of this hip hop that's going on right now, like the like
it doesn't matter what era of music you're listening to. There were really shitty bands and there were really good bands. It doesn't matter what genre or era it was. Dogbit Dude says, and our parents hated the music we were listening to. Dogbit Dude said, would you rather be able to see 10 minutes into your future or 10 minutes into everyone else's future, but never your own?
If you could,
feel like
if you could talk to other people about their future, you could compare notes and then possibly
extrapolate what you're gonna have to. That's gonna happen to you.
Yeah, that does sound more interesting. Could also make a lot of money if I'm
Look at you guys
predicting people's future.
I mean,
I would be 100%
would you monetize that?
Absolutely.
I
Yo,
could.
this Lamborghini racetrack ain't gonna pay for itself. Horse Sundays is expensive, man.
I mean, imagine the responsibility that you would have. Like 10 minutes, you talk to somebody and they're like, nah, 10 minutes from now, you're going to be dead.
I could tell them and then let them figure it out themselves.
Would you break that
10
news
minutes
to
to
him? Be like, I have
If
100%.
I saw a car hit you, you might want to go.
My track record is 100%. And in the next 10 minutes, you're going to die. And this
What if
person's
you
on the
got on a
street.
boat?
They're looking at their watch or their phone. They're like, what did you just say?
Just go home.
You're crazy.
All right, what if you get on a plane, right? You're going down to GuardianCon, get on the plane,
No.
and all of a sudden you realize everybody on this plane is going to be dead in 10 minutes.
You're like,
Including
you.
And then you're like,
Extrapolate the data. Oh, God.
That's the worst. I would stand up and say, look, everybody, we're all going to die. So let's all start singing a song together so we can go down.
Can we please do the yellow slidey thing before
Because
we
this
die?
would make the best YouTube video ever. Let's go.
I want to do the yellow slidey thing once before I die.
I think this is a really specific thing that doesn't, like, 10 minutes in the future doesn't really give you much except for, so if it was for yourself, Jay Cassie said it in chat. He said he'd win so many horse racing bets. And if you could go to a casino and be like, if I bet on this machine, am I going to win with your power? Then there you go. You can.
I don't see how
10 minutes
useful it
is
would be
not
with
a very long
seeing other people, but for you, you could use it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like,
If I
You could
jump
walk
off this roof into this pool, am I going to break my leg? No? All right,
Oh,
we're
we're
good.
good.
Let's do this.
check it out. Is the steak going to be good from this restaurant? Oh, no, it's not. Order something
let's
else.
go with
no,
the
let's
chicken.
go somewhere
Let's go with
else.
the chicken,
Yeah,
yeah.
this does seem better. That's right.
If you're ordering a steak and getting it 10 minutes later, Tefty, you're at the wrong restaurant.
Right.
If I do 160 miles down this highway, 160
Do I get
miles an hour
arrested?
down this highway for 9 minutes.
I don't know. Definitely betting on racetracks for sure.
Duggan says, what's the craziest donation goal activity you've done or plan on doing? We are actually getting together after the podcast tonight to talk about
I'm going to talk
donation
about
goals. I have
that stuff, yeah.
a list of
Exactly.
We're gonna
ideas.
have
on the topic.
Tefty, Briar, and Pope Bear dress up as Sailor Moon characters. Beard fully intact.
Have we discussed it? Is
I
that what's
already
going
have the
on?
outfit. I mean, that was
Yeah,
just
Briar
like a
told me he had the outfit ready to go, so
Yeah.
I just assumed that made the most sense.
We're going to reenact. We're all going to dress up and reenact Shake Your Fantasy. Live.
Mhm.
I can give some tips.
I gotta get some swinging light bulbs going here.
IKEA.
And memes is going to be played by Watts, and we'll have a great.
I wanted to wear a
cosplay.
fedora.
You get the zebra coat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that one of the craziest was early on in my, our career in Destiny. We did a charity stream. It wasn't for St. Jude. It was for breast cancer research. And I may have been in Dads of Destiny, or I can't remember if I was on Planet Destiny or not. But at the time, Dado did a raid challenge for me, and we did a streaming thing. Do you remember Watts was?
Mm-hmm.
And he incentivized all these things having to be taken from me. And like, not using grenades or not using a primary weapon. People just kept donating. And this was very early on. So I had no idea how much we were going to raise or whatever. And it got to a point where I was inverted with the monitor off, walking without any guns. Only direction.
I love it.
Only directions by the people in the
Your
game.
handler.
Who were you? You were one of the handlers, weren't you?
I wasn't handling. I think wasn't it Dado who was handling it?
Dado was giving these amazingly accurate directions, anticipating the fact that I was inverted and giving the correct. That guy is smart. Anyway, we all know that. But it was crazy and then I had to handle the sword, and then I had to go defeat Crota with it. It was insane. It was the most fun I've had doing a stream. It was a blast. We raised like $10,000 for breast cancer research, and I don't know. I don't think I've ever. I got to find the video on that, but it was grunt. I couldn't stop laughing. It was so much fun.
I have a few ideas that were suggested today. One said that we all do a raid using the Dvorak layout on our keyboards.
The what?
The Dvorak layout on your keyboard. So you have an option in Windows to like change the layout of your keyboard completely.
Wow, didn't know this.
One was a taco eating contest, which sounds like it might happen. Pope plays mouse and keyboard for a month only.
Oh
man.
A lot of, I'll tell you, Pope, a lot of
good.
the suggestions I get are really just people trying to torture you. In other words, Pope has to agree with everybody with supportive arguments for an entire podcast.
Yes, not just like I agree. Why'd you agree, Pepper?
I think that's a great idea.
I
think
that trolley podcast. That'd be amazing.
Pope has been nothing but toxic for this community, and I feel like him having to suffer through that is a great example of what he deserves.
Let's see here. Dogbit dude, would you? Oh, I already read that one. Redacted says, with the 3-month period for Holtzman coming to an end, what are your plans moving forward when he is hired on permanently by Hot Topic? Yes, I'm free on Thursday nights.
I
just read it because it suggested that he's getting hired on permanently by Hot Topic, and that made me laugh. I didn't actually think about the answer.
I'll be there's nothing that I'd want to buy at Hot Topic. Crap.
Yeah, I mean,
they have some nice socks.
Ooh, I like black socks.
Yeah, we'll go get some socks.
They might have some studs on them, which could be a little.
Ooh, that's a hard pass.
They look kind of
sparkly,
snazzy.
like Michael Jackson kind of socks. I could go.
Yeah,
for a couple
yeah, they probably have those.
I wonder if they have
like
really stiff hair gel
for your beard.
For my beard.
You gonna gel up your beard?
Yeah, I mean, I'm lying.
People who shop at Hot Topic don't have beards. They got
Yeah.
They got chin straps max.
We're excited to have Holtz back on the show for GuardianCon.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's going to be cool. So you guys make sure to show up on Sunday. He's going to be joining us. Hopefully,
if you miss Patrick, you will see him there, or hear him, or something. He'll be there.
But we do update everybody on what he's doing every week. I don't understand why people
don't know what's going on.
Hey,
Clearly,
don't know what's going on.
He's been busy.
He's a busy man.
Super busy.
Right?
He gets around.
Yeah.
Most interesting. Somebody told me that he was working at Bungie. It's like, what the fuck? I mean, we come up we put a lot of thought into what he's doing every week. Nobody's gonna believe that bullshit.
Yeah. No,
Wait. Somebody told you that legitimately they thought we were serious, and that
No. I was making a joke.
Oh, okay.
Like it was more ridiculous that he was working at Bungie than the shit we've been saying.
It is.
It went over my
That's
head.
funny.
The joke.
It was
Flew
Most
Flew
by.
over your head,
interesting says, y'all have to assign each other a Looney Tune character. Who is Bugs Bunny, Daffy, Elmer Fudd, Marvin the Martian, Taz? He says Briar Rabbit is 100% Foghorn Leghorn. And to that, I say, why do I got to be the racist one? That's fucked. Although I think there's more than one racist one when it comes to Looney Tunes.
Yeah, a different era.
So
Different
clear
era.
that.
Man.
I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe Watts is Tweety Bird.
Is Tweety a boy or a girl?
I think
I
it's
thought
a boy.
she
It
was a
doesn't
girl.
matter. I don't think it matters.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
I want to be the skunk.
Ooh, Pepe Le Pew.
Pepe Le Pew.
I could see you as Pepe Le Pew.
Pepe's a little rapey.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Little bit.
romance all the time. That's me. Yeah.
He's actually just a nice guy. He just misunderstood.
He's a little aggressive.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I'm just here for the boobs.
I don't know. I'm thinking Tefty is. I don't know, you guys. This is a really hard one.
Yeah, the personalities are like all over the place when it comes to Looney Tunes.
I feel like I feel the most like Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you want to have that Lambo racetrack.
The Acme just delivered a Lambo racetrack as a way of chasing down the coyote. Or no, the
Wile E. Coyote
the
chases the Roadrunner.
The Roadrunner, yeah.
I don't know. It's a hard one, Korean.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Can you give us our roles and then tell us next week?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's better.
We need a
That's
follow-up
There you
question.
So you guys may have noticed there were a total of 6 Destiny questions this week.
Oh,
You may
is
not
that-
have counted. Yeah, there were 6 Destiny related questions. The rest of them were like kind of the silly stuff, which I love.
I love silly stuff.
Yeah, there's
Let's make a new podcast called The Silly Stuff.
silly
Where
stuff.
people just ask us stupid
you not-
questions.
Did you see that art that Ash did for side quest?
Yes.
Yes.
Looks amazing.
She's amazing. She's amazing.
Speaking of side quests, that's next week.
Yeah, we got a big one.
That was a fun one to kind of conceptualize, to put together. I'm excited to announce it. But okay, so coming up next week, we are going to be doing on Wednesday our first live off-topic podcast, and we're going to have Jason Schreier on from Kotaku. So it should be fun. We're doing a change of schedule just because it's GuardianCon week, and we'll be traveling on Thursday where we normally do the podcast, and we're going to be doing a live show on Saturday. So that week is going to be a little different. So next week is going to be a little different. Sunday is the live. So Sunday the 8th, July 8th is going to be the live GuardianCon stream, and 8 o'clock. What is it? Sorry. 9 o'clock.
Yosemite
9 a.m.
Sam,
Pacific.
how did we miss you? Cool.
And then so we're gonna have something on Sunday, Wednesday, and Saturday of next week.
Yeah. So Wednesday, same time as usual podcast, correct?
Yep.
So 6
Mhm.
p.m. right here. So instead of tuning in on Thursday, make sure you're here on Wednesday. We're going to
Yep.
be talking to a very interesting guest, which you might enjoy. And then Sunday, make sure to come by for our GuardianCon block. It's going to be crazy.
This
We're going to
coming
have really
Sunday.
good incentives for you guys. There's going to be a lot of giveaways for donating and all that stuff. So yeah, it's going to be,
Yep.
it's going to be
Pope Bear is Daffy Duck.
cool.
I could see myself as Daffy Duck. Get angry about stuff. That's perfect. All right.
Cool.
Yeah, no, we got a lot of stuff planned. I think that we might actually just break records for this St. Jude's charity stream. That's who we're going to be rating tonight. So stick around.
Taco
tonight.
eating records.
Taco eating records.
Mhm.
Stick around
Oh, yeah.
because I want us in mass to raid the GuardianCon stream. So hang out here while we finish stuff up, so we can go as a
Yep.
group go raid them.
So that's the podcast, right?
That's the podcast.
That's it.
All right.
It's a podcast.
I am
Nailed it.
Nailed it. I am Tefty Teft. You can talk to me at Teft on Twitter. You can catch my streams, twitch.tv/Tefty Teft. I typically stream Friday through Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific time.
I'm Briar Rabbit. You can find me streaming weekday afternoons over on Twitch. You can find YouTube, just like a Briar Rabbit, or talk to me on Twitter at the Briar Rabbit.
And I am Miss 5000 Watts. You can find me, just search for Miss 5000 Watts on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube.
And this has been Pope Bear. And you can find me on Twitter at Pope Bear. Make sure to follow the podcast at DCP_live. We've got some great stuff. I told you guys we got some great stuff planned for the next 2 weeks or next week. But also just going forward on July 19th, we have Moonvault from Planet Destiny. She's the new creator there, the new head of Planet Destiny. She's going to be coming on the show on July 19th. On July 26th, we have Ram. She's going to be coming on and talking about, she does a great job. We're excited to talk to her. And on August 2nd, we have Dot. So it's a good group. I'm thankful of all the new content creators you guys are linking me up with. Really appreciate it, as well as like getting big names like Jason Schreier, and we've got some guests from Bungie coming on soon. We're going to have some of the raid developers on. We would not have that opportunity to bring those kind of guests on without you guys helping to support us, and we're really thankful that you do.
Yep.
So that's it.
Thanks for watching, guys. We're going to run the credits, and we'll be back to read out some subs and then do the rating and all that stuff. So be back in just...
Don't leave us.
Yep. Don't leave just yet. Because we're going to raid GuardianCon stream. All right. Be right back, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
We are back. I'm going to read out some subs. Let's see. Niprin with a new sub. Welcome. Halo Quail 77 with 4 months. Mr. Aries with 4 months. GC Hype, yes indeed. Harding with a new sub. I have Toes with 4 months. Duke Atomic with a new sub. Second Son 22 with a new sub. Space Jumpin' with 4 months. Darth Radonis with 4 months. It's 4 months of awesome entertainment and great debating. And amazing guests. Also check out the GC stream and donate, people, right now. Boom. Donate to the GC stream. Biggins 1976 with 4 months. Donald Trumpez with 4 months as well. Sneaker Freaker 83 with 4 months and a tier 2 sub. The Dutchman with 4 months. Ultima drop in 3,000 biddies. All things GC wise. Thank you very much, Ultima. Celesiak with 3 months. His Fury with 4 months. Crucial Catalyst gifting a sub to Omni Waffle. Seatown Guardian with a new sub. Celesiak also gifting a sub to Snackless. That Jeff M with 4 months. Roarman subbing with a tier 2 sub. The Dragon Reborn with 4 months. Celsiac also gifting a sub to Sergeant C. Slaughter. And McDackery with 3 months. Tenix with 4 months says, will there be a Magnum booth at GuardianCon? That's a good question, guys. Will there be Magnums? Have we coordinated?
Of course.
Yes? Okay.
I'm going to have to buy a bigger wallet now.
Copious boxes of Magnums.
Can we get DCP branded Magnums?
That sounds great.
Of course.
This is phenomenal. Say my name with a new sub. It's Snoops with 3 months. Welcome back. Mr. Aries gifting a sub to Carolina Gamer, which makes it 3 months right there. Dimitri V with 3 months. Joker with 4 months. Let's go check with 4 months. The Mill with 4 months. Celsiac gifting a sub to Desert? I think it's Desert. Gator with 4 months. Vega 18 with 4 months as well. 1 week till GC indeed. Arzani 1989 with 4 months. Eleneki with 4 months. Botakin with 2 months. Blue Eyes Hunter Dragon gifting a sub to Random Wins and also Dr. Cool Whip on Xbox. Pope Bear dropping a sub. My goodness. Sinji with 4 months says all these lovely people indeed. Yagami 2004 with a tier 2 sub in 3 months. Got to go with the bottomless pit of money. Yagami gets us. He gets us. Bottomless pit of money. Obi Sword 83 with 4 months and says, need help moving. Please help me. Guys, Obi needs to. He needs to.
I'm gonna be busy that weekend.
It's a no for me, dog. Blue Eyes Hunter Dragon gifted a sub to Holt. Let's see. Blemish with some biddies. Zavi Baby with some biddies as well. OC 57 with 4 months. And Blue Eyes hooking up Lego with 3 months on the subbage. Thank you very much, guys. That is super, super kind. Is it time? Is it time to raid?
It's time.
It's
I
time.
don't know. Raid? You know how to do it, Pope?
Yeah.
/raid space GuardianCon.
It's,
Nailed it.
You know what? That's what it is.
Yeah, okay, that's what it is.
It's not going to be it, is it?
/raid, yeah. Yep.
I got it right.
You did it.
Hey.
All right. Thanks for
I
watching,
heard
guys.
the enter button.
Go on over to
Go
the
show
GuardianCon.
lots of love.
Yep, lots of love.
Go raise money for the kids.
We will see you guys next week for some awesome stuff.
We'll see you on Sunday.
We'll see you on Sunday. Yeah.
On GuardianCon.
See you guys on Sunday.
Stream.
Bye, everyone.
Really early. Like
Super early.
Not that early. It's like noon. Fine.
So early, bro.
even noon would be really early, honestly.
Yeah.